body chemistry, and you can balance those things.
I think that's a good idea.
That's my only advice. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you believe that it's unaliving a baby in your worldview, but it doesn't affect you, I just don't understand why we're having this conversation. What's that?
Me, I just explained if it negatively affects my hedonic state, it's gonna affect
me. But that's not a thing. Hey, Gordon, I just need to know your age before we move forward.
When you say hedonic states are not a thing.
Guys, there's too many people up here. Mods. I appreciate the invites, but now we have too many. I will take. I'm gonna be the other one now. Hey, Gordon, how old are you?
I'm 50.
Okay, and Mister, are you there? Yeah, you're not there. All right, Gordon. You can chime into this conversation, okay? Just whenever there's a space, you can chime on in. Did you want to say anything to what we're talking about right now in regards to AB? And guys, I'm not going to make this. Hold on one sec. I don't want to make this an entire abortion live, guys. We'll make it. I can have a conversation, fine, but I don't want to make this the entire live. It tends to go in that direction. We will go to a new guest at 30,000 likes, okay? New guests, new topic, okay? All right, Gordon. So what's up?
TV is very loud.
Why whose is that? Jealous of Trump?
Whose TV is it? Gordon, can you turn your TV down, please? It's very loud.
Why are you so jealous of Trump?
What do you mean jealous?
You guys, all you Democrats are jealous of it.
Why would I be jealous of a guy that rapes kids?
You go on TikTok and make these lives.
Well, I'm not particularly jealous of a guy that rapes kids, so no.
Yeah, you're jealous. Do you have money like he does? Do you have any money?
I have money to live.
Do you have a job? Idolization.
Are you being serious right now, or are you trolling?
Yeah, I am. Do you have a job?
Well,
being on TikTok is not a job.
Well, how do you determine what a job is and what a job isn't?
You go to work and you make money.
So if somebody works from home, it's not a job?
That's a job, but being on TikTok Live is not a job.
Well, what if I get money from doing this, enough to survive? That would be a job by its very definition. Well, it's a job you don't like, and it upsets you. Now you're jealous.
How much is on your food stamp card?
Right, but you're the jealous one. I've never been on food stamps.
Do you have food stamps?
No, sir.
I bet you are.
Well, I just said no, so that's something you're just assuming.
I bet you're gay also.
Do you want me to be?
I bet you are.
If you want me to be, I could.
Weird way of coming on to him, Gordon.
This is odd. I don't know what's going on here.
Send him a DM and ask him out on a date if you're interested. It's easy.
I'm not gay. I don't support gay people.
Well, it sounds like you are.
And I bet you're probably transgender also.
You're just hitting all. He's just hitting.
It sounds like you're soliciting.
Guys, he's just checking all the check marks. Are you trans? Are you gay? Are you on food stamps?
People, you Democrats are clowns. You're all losers.
Gordon, are you a Christian?
Yes, I'm a Christian.
Then why would it be a problem people being on food stamps? Jesus said to help people that are hungry.
Are you on food stamps?
Well, that's not a response to what she just said.
In the country,
hey, but I want you to engage with what she just said. You just totally ignored it. Engage with what she said.
You're just jealous of Mr. Trump.
Can you engage in a conversation, or are you going to talk? Sir, you're talking like a 4-year-old. Would you like to have
like Joe Biden, but
would you like to have an adult conversation? Gordon, you're up here so we can have an adult conversation. If you cannot do that, I will have to drop you. Can you have an adult conversation?
I'm just saying,
Guys, he he got a violation. He got a thing. All right, well that's an easy thing to remove. All right, get out of here, buddy. All right, back to what we were talking about, XO. Okay, so I don't remember where we were. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you said it doesn't change or affect my life, and I said it does because it negatively affects my hedonic states.
Okay, but then I could say that about anything, and then just state that as an objective thing.
Yeah, well, then you'd have to justify why it's immoral.
Okay, so
wait, hold on. And also, just to be clear, you didn't ask me why it was immoral. You just asked me how it changed my life, and I explained.
Wait, I was just curious as to how it did. Okay, but we can get into the morality of it. That's fine. What's immoral about it?
Yeah, sure. The fetus, something about you. It has a soul, which is going to make it a person. And I think it's intrinsically wrong to unalive people.
Okay, so where's the soul? What is the soul? So where can we find the soul?
Hylomorphic.
Excuse me?
the soul is holomorphic.
Well,
I
that's
think you
not.
just like using words
Yeah.
that you don't think other people understand. By the way, you existing affects my hedonic state. So does that mean you shouldn't exist?
Well, you have to provide justification for why
Yeah,
I
I
shouldn't
can.
exist.
You're boring AF, and it affects my ability to experience pleasure.
But-
So yeah, you.
But listen,
No,
man,
it's being-
let's not talk about souls because souls, there's no scientific evidence of a soul. So let's maybe
I
throw
mean, I
that
can
one out.
just provide the argument for why the soul exists.
I know, but you saying it exists, it doesn't make it exist. I'm sorry, that's just your opinion.
No, I'm saying I can just provide the argument. I can provide the empirics.
Okay, well, I just don't believe a soul exists, so there's no point in mentioning it. Right? That's like
Big soul
that's like
logical
you
argument.
talking about saying the Bible says do this or do that, and me not being religious at all. It means nothing to me.
Yeah, so just to be clear, a logical argument will not change your mind.
Excuse me? No, if you give a logical, if you give a logical one, but souls don't exist.
Okay,
Using
sure, I can just
souls in an
provide it right
argument
now.
Is not logical.
No.
This is not theology. Get a grip.
Now,
I can
if
provide
you want to
that
say
right
like
now.
sentience, do you want to like change it to sentience or something? Is that
No,
fair?
I can just provide the logical argument right now, and I can explain how.
I understand you
argument
are, but that doesn't mean it means anything.
Can I finish what I was saying?
I've been letting you
because
talk
saying
And I
it's
plenty.
a
can
soul
just-
is illogical by scientific
and I
standards.
can just-
Get a grip.
And I can just explain how the argument doesn't go against any of the three laws.
I
of
don't care
logic.
about your argument. By scientific standards, saying it's a soul is illogical. Get a grip. Read a book.
Well, it
or
doesn't
find a
go
hobby.
against any of the three laws of logic, so who wouldn't be illogical?
How much did you practice this before you came up here?
I didn't practice it at all. What are you asking?
Really?
How many times?
No, I'm just curious how many times you practiced this in the mirror.
in the
This
mirror.
whole Phil
not at
bro
all.
thing. Yeah, I don't know. All right.
No, it's not even me being
Okay,
a Phil, bro.
seriously.
These are high school words.
Okay.
But I mean, you
All
want
right,
the
man.
argument, and I can just explain how it doesn't go against the three laws of logic.
Once
Okay.
again, there is no logical argument for a soul, and science explains this very well.
Right.
Find a hobby, read a book, pick a different word.
There's
I
some
don't-
that- what law
Listen,
does
I'm
it
just
go
I don't care about your laws. I don't care about that. I don't believe a soul exists. I want you to provide evidence that a soul exists, scientific evidence. Then we can have this conversation, or you can just
Okay, so you
reformulate.
said evidence, so logical reasoning will fall under a category of evidence.
Nope.
No,
Are we okay?
Nope.
no, it's not. It isn't though because
Oh,
it wouldn't.
doesn't.
No,
So can you
it
name the
wouldn't.
category?
Well, let her
It
speak.
wouldn't-
Let her
it
speak.
would
You're not
fall-
controlling this conversation.
It would fall under opinion. An opinion is not a form of evidence. Not at least not if we're talking about things that are epistemologically true. Then opinion doesn't count as being epistemologically true.
Yo, so can I speak now?
Yeah, well, that's
No,
how
yeah,
conversations
so
work.
I'm
Yeah.
not
Kind of,
giving
you've got
any.
a-
Guys, keep tapping 30K. We're gonna change the topic because I can't do an AB live.
So you're already doing a category A. You actually did two category errors here.
You didn't practice this enough in the
contextualizing
mirror,
what my
apparently.
argument is
You have
with
no
what
facts.
an opinion
All
is. That's
you have
number
is
one. Then number
opinions and
two.
feelings. You came up here talking about your feelings. You're stating an opinion. Soul is an illogical argument. Scientific standards knows that. And you're saying you're using high school words. You're not. You probably have a thesaurus in front of you right now, just looking to see what fits, which is crazy. Find a hobby.
Listen,
Okay,
man,
the
is
second
there a
category
way?
there.
Okay, listen, man, there's no way we can move past this. I don't believe a soul exists, okay?
And
There's
then
no
I'm
evidence.
giving
So you
you
have
the
two
argument.
choices. I don't care. You have two
Let's say you-
choices. You have two
wait,
choices.
so you're
Hey,
committing
hey,
fallacy.
shush. You have two choices.
So you're committing that you're fallacious then.
Your choices are going to be as such, okay? I'm going to have to mute you
so
because you
you're
don't know.
admitting that
Your choices are to provide evidence that a soul exists, or you have to reformulate your argument. Those are your two choices. Do you have evidence that exists?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
I
right.
can just give you.
So give me the scientific evidence that
logical
exists.
reasoning is going to be the evidence. It falls under a category of
Nope.
evidence. That's
Nope. That's not how things
This
work.
is not-
yo, that's what
this is
empirics
not-
are, you dunce.
Exo.
Yo, that's what
This is
em-
wild.
philosophy.
This is wild.
Look
When-
up what empirics are.
God
I know
damn!
empirics are, you
Why are you crashing out?
Look
He's
up what
completely
empirics are, you
crashing.
actual idiot.
This
Well-
is this is not philosophy 101.
Why are you crashing
sir.
out?
We're
Please,
asking
morality
you-
is a part of
we're
philosophy,
asking
and
you
we're
for
debating morality.
scientific- We're asking you for scientific evidence, please. Thank you.
And I just explained to you, I wouldn't have to provide that if I'm already giving you a category of evidence that's going to be valid because
It
it's
is not
indexed to
valid
the
if it's an
synthetic coefficient of the
illogical argument.
proposition.
You can't
Are
use
we
an
listening?
illogical
Are we actually
argument as
tracking here?
scientific evidence. You're
Are we
not
tracking?
tracking. Are you
You're
in
not
high school
tracking. You're
still?
not tracking what I'm
Are
saying.
you in high school still?
You're not tracking what I'm saying.
You're in high school still,
You're
and
not
you picked
tracking
up
what
a
I'm saying.
theology book and ran with it. That's
You're
exactly
not
what
tracking what I'm
happened.
saying.
One of your
And I didn't even
teachers
affirm
introduced you
a
to
religion
basic
to be true.
fundamentals of theology, and you've
I
just
didn't
been
even
running with it.
affirm a religion, just to be clear.
You're talking about a soul, which makes this a religious basis of
No, it
argument. Are
doesn't.
you stupid?
Then you
You're
can believe in
definitely
the
not an
soul and
adult.
not hold a
You're
theological stance.
definitely not
Please
an
track.
adult. You're
So
definitely
please
not
track
an
the
adult.
argument.
You're terrible at trolling. It's
Man,
just
please
crazy.
track the argument.
Hey, you guys,
We're
keep tapping to share.
tracking.
We're
Yeah,
looking
you're
for
already committing a
opposition.
categorical error.
No, EXO.
That's not what that
we,
means.
Yeah,
we
and
don't.
even then
Christ.
I'm not, and even then I'm
We
not giving an
don't. Right,
epistemic
That's not what
EXO.
motivator.
that
Let me
means.
make this absolutely clear. This is not philosophy 101. Okay, evidence in this place is scientific evidence that is proven.
Okay, what's the
Not your
motivator for that
opinion.
then?
No, you're not. Phil broing his little heart
Then
out.
you're unable to track what
This may work in your
I'm asking for is
this may work in your Philbro lives. All right.
yo.
Executive decision.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God,
Goodbye.
these are.
Goodbye. It's ridiculous. Like by his argument, he can just make anything be true if he wanted to. You don't have to provide scientific evidence. Just make it logical. All right. Now we have the goatness who's going to try to back him up, who's going to Philbro us as well. Let's take on this Philbro real quickly. All right. Do your Philbro thing. Actually, I need your age first.
35.
All right. Do your Philbro thing.
Okay,
That
so
doesn't even sound
as soon
believable. I've
as
never heard somebody say that.
as soon as philosophy enters the program, y'all are gagged. That's hysterical.
I love being gagged. All right. So can you provide
I
evidence?
know.
Can
I
you
mean,
provide
you
evidence?
are a LGBT plus minus divided sign advocate.
Can you provide evidence that a soul exists?
Are you stuttering? Do you have a speech impediment or something?
Ableism, not good. Can you provide evidence that a soul exists?
I'm just asking if you have a speech impediment. I didn't
I do not.
make
Can you
any
provide evidence that
derogatory
a soul
statement towards
exists?
it.
Can you provide evidence that a soul exists?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. What is it?
Logical reasoning.
Cogito ergo sum is all I have to say, goatness.
What's that?
I said cogito ergo sum.
Why don't you put your lips back on the pipe and hush?
I'm sorry.
And
You
hush.
want to engage in a philosophical debate and you don't
I'm
know
dying
the phrase
to. I'm
cogito
waiting on
ergo
you.
sum.
Yeah, absolutely.
What does it mean in English?
I don't know. You can't speak English, so I need to hear it from a translator.
He doesn't even know Rene
You're
Descartes.
not a good Philbro.
I am.
Yeah,
I need a translator for that voice.
You're not a good Philbro. You guys are supposed to know every word in the dictionary.
He's not a Philbro because he doesn't
know
even
everything.
know Rene
I know
Descartes.
everything.
I think, therefore, I am.
I know everything.
No, you don't. You know nothing.
Oh yeah, I know you are, but what am I?
What's epistemology?
Are you pissed at me or something?
What's epistemology?
All right, this is
that
not
what
going
you're
to last
saying? You're
long.
pissed at
This
me?
is not. Listen, dude. I
pissed
like
at me?
that. Can we have a serious conversation? Okay, listen.
Sure. About what?
Okay, can
About
we have
what?
a serious? Oh,
Absolutely.
I don't know. Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, how do you think he's doing?
If I gave him a grade, I'd say solid C minus minus.
Oh gosh. Okay. What do you think he's doing good at?
Safety.
Oh, I do have to tell you something though. Unfortunately, one of the guests hates you so much they paid to kick you. Goodbye. Let me pull that up.
You
Real
know,
quick.
35 gets less and less believable the more that he puts together sentences.
Cole, thank you guys. Let's have a big W for Cole. That's COLE. W Cole in the comments. It just says kick goat. Got to do what they say. Good.
That if you're coming up here claiming to be a Philbro and you don't know what cogito ergo sum is, which is I think therefore I am, it's literally the best known phrase in philosophy. I don't understand.
Although I was interested to hear what his argument was for Trump, but I doubt it would have been good considering how the conversation went in the beginning. Yeah, I do like saying that to guests, guys. It's my new thing that I've been doing. It just makes me feel good, just to like make them aware that somebody hates them so much that they pay to get rid of them. I don't know, something about it just makes me feel good. Now, if you guys voted for Trump, hit the guest request button there at the bottom of the screen, please. Keep tapping and sharing. Make sure you guys click the follow button in the top right. Those watching on the tube, click the subscribe button. That's in the top right. Sorry, TikTok is top left. Whatever. Just follow me, subscribe. I don't know.
Internet trolls are such an interesting species. They truly do come in all shapes and sizes.
And lately, guys, we've been getting a little more tube commenters, so I do like addressing them because they sometimes say some pretty goddamn wild things. Ooh, all that chick does is talk over the top of everybody. She is the most useless, the painter on the planet. Jeanette, I don't think that makes sense. I'm going to read this again, guys. All that chick does is talk over the top of everybody. She is the most useless, the painter on the planet.
What?
Is she talking about like the Australian painter, the one that we all know, or
Do
is
you
that a
mean
type?
Austrian?
Austrian. I'm sorry.
Austrian painter?
I'm so sorry. Oh my
God,
god, I'm
I'm
dumb.
the
Oh my
disparagement.
god. Oh my god.
Disparagement.
Let's get
Oh,
past that. I
disparagement.
never said that, guys. I never said that. Please don't clip that. Please don't. You guys know what I meant. Fuck, it feels stupid.
I was watching the Olympics the other day, and Yuta Liederman is really great.
Out of interest, which chick were they talking about? Was it Buzzy or me?
That I don't know. I was trying to get that from the comment, but I couldn't. I don't know. Jeanette, who were you talking about? Erica or Buzzy? I would assume you, Erica, because you were the one mainly talking there. But I don't know.
Well, I'd just like to point out, I didn't talk over him. He talked over me. Because he didn't have an answer for the question, because he doesn't know the basics of philosophy.
Another comment. True.p is doing awesome. Proof is in our pudding.
Doug, could you run that by me again?
I can't. I will explode if I read that out again. Do not clip that. The Australian painter. God, that makes me sound dumb. It was a very dumb comment. Because I would have absolutely torched a guest if they said something like that. To be honest, would have been all over them. But rules for thee, not for me, right? I kid.
Monty B in the comments seems to be a fan of mine. So, Monty, just, if you want a signed photograph or something, just DM me. It's fine. We can sort it.
No, I think they were talking about me because someone said that I was awesome. Then he responded to them and said, I think she knows everything, maybe. But then I don't know. It looks like they're talking about you, maybe.
You guys can fight over who they're talking about.
He said, think she knows everything Brit.
Oh, okay, then it would be.
So,
oh, okay. Yeah, that would definitely be
I'm
you.
going to assume
yeah,
that was
definitely
me.
Yeah, that's definitely you. Mm-hmm. It's
well, all right.
if I could read the last word.
People on YouTube, I know I keep saying this, and I will, but I am going to get the phone number up here so you guys can call in, because I would assume some of you YouTubers who have watched me a little bit would want to come on up, and I would love to have more people to speak to, so I'm all for it. I don't, and guys, I don't block anyone on YouTube, by the way. If there's somebody being blocked, it might be a mod of mine. But if you guys do mod for me on YouTube, you can be pretty loose with the blocking, or without. Be loose and not blocking is what I meant. Unless they say something horrible. Guys, I'm only looking for opposition, so Rosella, I don't know if you're in opposition. Rosella, did you mean to come up?
Yeah, actually, I did.
Oh, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 20.
Okay. What's up? Are you opposition?
Yeah, I mean, mainly here to talk about the background. I mean, I don't necessarily believe that like MAGA is like a bunch of incels, right? I think that a lot. I mean, I think a lot of them probably are, but I mean, I think that people who do follow MAGA have probably just like been brainwashed into this idea that Donald Trump can, you know, build a utopia for them, right? And
Did
I
you
don't
vote for
necessarily
him?
think that.
Did you vote for him?
Did I vote for him?
Yeah.
Not at the time, no.
What do you mean not at the time?
Yeah, like not in the most recent election, no.
Well, you wouldn't have been able to vote for him in any other one, given your age, right?
Yeah, no, that's why. Yeah, I'm saying I didn't vote for him.
Okay, so did you vote at all?
No.
Okay. Why did you not vote? I'm curious.
Why did I not vote? I don't know. I wasn't really interested in politics at the time, but
Okay. So do you support Trump, or what are
yeah, I
your thoughts?
support Trump. I mean, like the whole administration. I mean, as like a whole, probably not. But I mean, like I do agree with Trump on some things, right?
Okay, like
Like
what?
maybe we could talk about that. Yeah, I mean, like I'm really not fond of Kamala's like abortion policies
Okay.
and her ideas
Real
for
quick,
abortion and
hold
that
on, real
thing.
quick, because some people are asking, what year did you graduate high school? Real quick.
Oh, I actually left early. I left when I was 14. I was in 2020. I can tell you my birth year if you want. It's
Yeah.
2006 January. Yeah, 2006 January.
Okay. All right. Whatever. All right. So, what is Harris's AB position, and why do you disagree with it?
I don't know. I saw like she made this like corny advert about like why abortion should be allowed and stuff.
Why are you pretending to be American? You're Scottish.
Also,
I'm
quick.
not. I'm in America, dude.
You're Scottish, though.
Yeah,
Also,
I'm half Scottish. Yeah,
You have a
I live in
Scottish
America.
accent.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time in Scotland. I live
What's
in
the
America
time?
though.
What's the time now where you are?
7:40 p.m.
All right. I mean, she
West
answered that
Virginia.
quickly. All right. All right. So what is your position on AB? And it sounds like you have some background noise. If you could possibly minimize that, I would appreciate it. But yeah, what is your position when it comes to abortion?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm pro-life.
Okay. So do you have any exceptions for abortions?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's gonna be medical and then, like, a grape exception. But that's, like, pretty much it.
What do you mean by medical?
Oh, yeah, like, if it's the case, like, a child's gonna cause, like, their mother, like, severe bodily harm, um, like, something like, I don't know, maybe, like, paralysis or something, or, like, unalivement, like, I would grant, like, an exception then.
Unalivement.
Yeah.
All right. So what is your position at the beginning of it? So, like, do you believe? So, I assume you believe it's immoral to have an AB
Yeah.
otherwise, right? Okay. Why is that?
Oh, yeah, I think that, abortion harms, like, an unborn child, right? That's why I think it's wrong. I can tell you why I think it harms an unborn child.
But it's not a child, though. But
Well, I could tell you
you
how
can't
I'm
say.
using.
Oh, I know, but
Well,
we have to use saying unborn child would be an illogical argument because it's not a child.
I
I could
gotta
just
be
tell you
honest
how
with you.
I'm using
Something
the
about this
term
is very
child.
sketchy.
A little
I mean,
bit,
when I
but I'm
say
rolling with
child,
it. Good.
yeah, so when I say child, I'm, like, referring to, like, a human being who has, like, two parents, right? Like, for example, I don't know how old you are. I'm assuming that you're, like, in, like, your maybe, like, early 30s. Sorry if I'm, like, pretty off, but, I mean,
No,
like, you're
you're
always
good.
gonna be,
You're
like, a
good.
child to your parents, right?
But it already has terms. So, like, there's embryo, fetus, there's a
Oh,
whole
yeah, those are gonna be, like, medical
process.
terms. When I say child, I'm using, like, a more colloquial term.
Rosella,
I mean, we
can
can
you
use.
Rosella? I need you to minimize the
But
background noise, please. It's loud.
it's not a child.
Wait, what background noise?
The background noise that you just muted.
Wait, no, that was Buzzy. I'm sorry.
Buzzy, is this you? All right, whoever it is, just stop it. Minimize it, please. Okay, so we can't call it a child though because it's not a child.
Okay,
We
well,
have that. We
that's
have
fine. If you reject my definition. I mean, we can use, like, medical terms, but as long as you're going to refer to, like, a newborn as, like, a neonate and, like, a
Okay.
conceived egg as, like, a blastocyst, I
Oh,
mean,
okay,
like, sure.
sure. So you mentioned human being. So what makes up a human being? What's this thing that a human being has that you believe um, even a fetus would hold this value? What is that thing it has?
Oh yeah. So I mean okay, just to be clear, right? The fact that it's human isn't solely why like I'm against abortion, right? I don't want human alive, but I mean yeah, I mean when we talk about human beings and what we define as being human and not in the domain of biology, it's just gonna be like a member of the Homo sapien species, right?
Any member of the
That's
Homo
what human.
sapien species, we need to give the same value as,
Oh,
say,
sorry, the
I or
genus
you.
Homo. Yeah, it's gonna be the genus Homo. Yeah,
Okay,
just an entity
you,
reproduced by two human beings.
okay, but if I were to be unalived right now, I would still be a Homo sapien. You wouldn't grant me the same value and rights as you would as if I were alive, though. So I'm not sure that argument would hold up.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
that's not my. I
do you
haven't
want to read?
presented an argument. Yeah, yeah, I haven't presented an argument yet. I clearly
But
stated that just the simple fact of being human doesn't grant you moral consideration, right?
you said it doesn't or does?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay, so what is your argument then?
Okay, yeah. Okay. The reason why I'm against abortion is because I think that it harms the unborn fetus, right, or child, whatever you want to call it, right? I can give an argument for that, but
Yeah,
Of
sure.
course it. But by
okay.
definition, of course it harms. Like what? That's not even.
Well, yeah, but when we talk about harm, there's different kinds of harm, right? And I mean, when I say like a child is harmed, or sorry, the fetus is harmed by like being unalived in an abortion, I think it's morally relevant harm, right?
Are you also against like amniocentesis and other kinds of pre-birth testing?
I don't know what you mean by
Because
that.
that can harm a child.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, like, I think that any procedure that like intentionally harms a child is like gonna be wrong, right?
You know,
Okay.
how come all Phil
This is
Bros?
weird.
Hold on. How come all Phil Bros use the same like tone? You guys know what I'm talking about? Like when we talk about that's like they use the
I don't know
same
if I'm a
words and
Phil
tone.
bro. I haven't really invoked philosophy in this
Maybe
A
Phil
Phil
conversation,
Bra.
Bro.
so
You're a Phil Bra. It's just these
Rah.
certain
Yeah.
words and cadence that they seem to have. All right. So you said it's causing harm to it. Can you
Yeah, morally
describe
relevant
harm?
harm.
Okay. So what's this harm that
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that would apply to a fetus and also say me or you or Erica or who else.
yeah, so I think that the reason, right, why it's wrong to unalive somebody like me or you or Erica or anybody else on this live is going to be because we have future valuable experiences, right? And I think that by us being unalived, we're actually being deprived of those future valuable experiences. And I think that deprivation is going to be an account of harm, right?
This is ridiculous. You can't guarantee anybody's experience in the
Yeah,
future,
we can
nor
talk
can
about
you
that.
determine what that experience is going to
Yeah,
be. There's no
we can
need to
talk about
talk
that.
about it because there's no way of actualizing that.
Yeah, I don't
What?
disagree with that.
Then why did you bring it up?
But
What the
yeah,
fuck?
because
You know, never
okay,
mind. This is very odd.
typically, oh,
I'm done.
okay. I
But
mean,
listen though, when we talk about if we're gonna say a future, there's like future whatever, like you can apply that to anything. You can apply that to anything, and I don't think
not
that's something
true.
that we typically do. Sure, right? Like when somebody like a child is 5, right? In the future, if things go accordingly, they'll be 16, they'll be able to drive, they'll be 18, they'll be able to vote, go in the military. We don't grant it rights based on its future, we grant it based on its current state.
Okay, this doesn't really address my argument, right? Like my argument is stating
Yes.
that
Yeah,
because
because I don't
this
believe the future.
okay,
I don't believe why. I don't believe unaliving
okay, do you
Erica or
think
you or hold on. I'm talking. I don't believe unaliving anybody here. The reason why it's problematic is because it prevents future existence or future whatever it is that you said. I don't believe that would be the reason why. But so I'm asking.
why would it be wrong? What's the harm in like what's the moral wrongmaker in like killing like me?
Yeah, so the reason why it's harmful, why it's immoral to unalive people, right? You're going to be because we're sentient, right? So you're causing potential
Uh-huh.
pain. You're causing potential pain to yourself, to people who know you. You're robbing you of your current existence. I think you're infringing upon someone's bodily autonomy by doing that as well.
Wait,
And I
okay, and like
and I
I
don't and I don't think that applies to a fetus because I value
yeah, I
sentience
agree.
but I value sentience personally, right? And
Okay, is
we as
sentience a
human,
necessary condition? Like
but
to be morally considered? Like do you have to
yeah,
be sentient in order for it to be wrong to kill you?
well, no, yeah, I believe sentience
Oh,
is the
okay.
key thing.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Because if
I
we're
mean
not
say like
sentient, hold on.
sorry.
I know you have your script. I get it.
But
Yeah, I want to reduct you.
I know you have your
Experiment.
script. You can get to your script, I promise. But
Okay.
yeah, no, I think sentience is what matters, because if I'm not sentient, then I'm just not me, right? That's who we are. If you're not sentient, you're not whatever your name is, Rosella. That's what makes us us. And if we don't
Okay,
have
well, I
that,
mean,
then I don't think you're robbing anybody of anything.
well, that's I mean, that's gonna be like a personhood sort of theory. I don't really want to go into that too much right now, but I
But
mean,
that's what
if I
I
was
value.
like,
I
if
value
I was,
personhood.
yeah, yeah, I can tell. Okay, I mean, like the issue is, right, like I'm assuming if I was like in a state of like a coma, right, and I was gonna say I was gonna like wake up, right,
Wait,
say
why
I was
don't
in a
you want
coma.
to discuss
What?
personhood when you already added future to your argument? You, at the fundamental basis of your
That has nothing to
argument,
do with
you said
personhood.
potential. For
I
some,
never
for
mentioned
you called it
person.
a child. You called it first. You called it a child. Then you referred to the future outcome of which you cannot
That has
be
nothing to do with
determined.
personhood.
That would be making it a person because cells don't have
No,
sentience and
I don't
cells
know why
don't
you're
have
trying to tell me my own
feeling.
argument, dude. Like you
You
don't.
made the argument. I
I
restated
never
everything
said
you said.
anything about
Everything I
person.
just stated, everything I
Well,
just stated are the exact
I
words that
never
came
used
out
the
of your
word.
mouth.
well,
I never
the
used
Should
the
we
word
roll that
person.
beautiful bean
Like,
footage?
can I just like ask the host a
no,
question?
no,
Is
but
that
the
okay?
You've been
problem.
asking me
No,
Wait,
plenty.
can
stop
I
for a
ask
second.
host? Can I
Stop for a
ask you a
second. The
question?
problem is what Buzzy was pointing out is that your argument makes no sense if you are going to completely like take personhood out of it, because your
Not
argument is that
necessarily.
you're taking away the future of that person. You are taking away their potential to have personhood and
You're just
experiences.
presupposing that's what I think
No, I'm
personhood
not
is, and that's not
presupposing.
true.
You said
It's
these exact words,
I
Rosella.
know.
These
No, I
words came
didn't.
out
This
of
is a
your
straw
mouth.
man.
This is
Host, can
not
I
a
talk to
straw
you,
man.
and then
It's
maybe I
not
can
a
address
straw
like the
man
you
when
panel?
you
are. It's
say
Well,
about
hold
I
on.
talk
wanted to
your
ask the host a
argument.
question.
I know, but they're in the conversation. You've been asking me plenty of questions. You can ask
Well,
another one.
yeah, I
That's
mean, it
fine.
just
But
seems
they
like
are
your
involved in the
panelists are
conversation.
straw manning me. Yeah, I mean, like
How?
they're definitely straw manning
wait
me.
a
But
goddamn.
hold on.
Yeah,
Somebody
you're
put a
talking about
muzzle on
person.
Erica.
You
Can
made
you silence this? Wait for a second.
go ahead real
Yeah, of
quick. Yeah.
course.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Thank you,
Everything
Kat.
that came out of my mouth are the exact words you stated. I can't straw man you when I'm restating the exact words that came out of your mouth. Honestly, I don't know what you learned in
You're
debate
saying that I made a
class.
personhood
I'm
claim.
still talking. You did make a personhood claim, and I
I
restated what
didn't.
you said that made it a personhood claim.
Did I
And if
use
you
the
can't
word person?
understand that,
Did I
if
use the
you
word
can't
person?
understand that, you described personhood. That is making a claim for personhood. You use descriptive words. These are the words that came out of your mouth. If you can't
I never said
understand
person.
that, then you're not ready for this conversation. And
I
you
never
should
said
go back to
person.
the books that you clearly didn't understand. And I have nothing more to say to you,
I
you
never said
child.
person.
I
Okay.
don't understand how
Okay,
you
wait, can
don't
I talk to the
value
host now?
personhood. Yeah, I just don't understand how you don't value personhood. That's weird.
Oh, I mean, yeah, because I think that I think that you can have wrong things happen to you even if you aren't a person, right? Like, for example, I don't think that, like, a fish is a person, but I still think it's wrong to, like, chop a fish's head off, right? But this is irrelevant. This is tangential to the question that I'm trying to ask you. So, if
Tangential isn't a word; it's tangential, and
tangential, yeah, sorry.
you haven't thought through your argument, and that even though you didn't use the word person or personhood, your argument invokes personhood,
It
because
doesn't.
even that it absolutely does. And the
What do you think
fact that
personhood
you
is?
don't understand, you haven't thought through your
What do you
argument,
think
my love.
personhood is?
Your
You
mom.
haven't thought through your argument.
What do you think personhood is,
Your
Erica?
mom. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that was really intelligent. Anyway, so host, yeah.
Doug, are you
If
good?
I'm in a state of a coma, right? Let's say that I'm not having a sentient experience. Is it wrong? And I'm gonna be sentient again. And let's say like a week. Is it wrong
Can
for
you
you to tell
But
guarantee
me?
a
you're still
person in a
hold on.
coma is going to have sentience?
I'm
Sentience
just
still
stipulating
exists.
that this is
Hold
the
on.
Can you
case.
When you're in a
guarantee a person in a coma will have
Yeah,
sentience
I'm
again,
stipulating this is the
Rosella?
case. Do you understand stipulations?
hold on, but
I
sentience still
understand that you don't
exists.
know what you're talking about and you don't know how
Okay,
to
yeah. So
argue,
you
and that's
clearly don't
not how
understand
this works.
stipulations.
That's not how this works.
Guys, hold on. Sentience still exists when you're in a coma. That
Okay,
doesn't go
I'm
away.
stipulating it out. Do you know what a stipulation is?
I understand what a stipulation is, but
Okay, great. So I'm
You're
stipulating that I'm
making an
not sentient.
absurdity.
Also,
but
that's
you're
not even true. It's a
but
one in four coma patients report having an experience in the state of a coma, right? So maybe I'm just like one of those three
exactly. When you're
people.
in a coma, you're sentient. You're still, just
Yeah,
because you're not
one
observing
in four
some,
people are sentient.
like if
One
you're
in four people are
sleeping.
sentient.
What do you mean 1 in 4 people?
Yeah, there's a study. Okay, 1 in 4 people report being sentient and having an experience in a coma.
Oh,
This is very
cool.
straightforward.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't understand you. I don't think you know what you're saying. I agree. You're sentient when you're in a coma. Why do you keep trying to argue with
What's
Okay,
that?
no,
the
I'm
study?
saying. Okay, I'm saying.
I
and
don't
some.
care.
Okay.
I don't care your 1 in 4 shit.
Also,
If you're in a coma, you're sentient. You have sentience. I don't understand why you keep trying to
okay, no,
argue
but you're
with
not
when we
okay,
agree.
right. Doug, okay, this is very straightforward, right? So there's a study conducted, right? One
Eric,
one
could you
I
in
please
4
silence
already
them?
people.
agree with you that you're sentient. Why do you keep trying to debate that?
No, you don't understand. You're not understanding me. I'm saying, okay, people that have been in a coma, right, have done a survey, and they've stated that
They could have
okay,
been.
this
Hold
is
on.
okay. Right, I don't know how
But
else to
you
explain
can't
this to you.
report if you're sentient. That's a fallacy. You can't
Okay,
do that. You may
they
be talking about.
obviously
Hold
came
on.
out of the
Hold on. You may
coma.
be
They
talking
came
about
out of
being
the
conscious.
coma.
You may be talking about being conscious or something. That is not the same as sentient. If you're not conscious, like one could exist without the other. You could be sentient but not conscious. You
Okay,
can't be
what do you take
conscious and not
sentience to
sentient though.
be? What's
Rosella, you're making a
sentience?
straw man, the thing you just accused me of, because you also just stated in that statistic that you can't make guarantees in that. This is
Wait, that's
ridiculous.
not what I'm saying. What's you
That
just
is what
okay,
you
you're really
said. You
confused. I said
quite,
that you
once
can't
again, you
confirm that
just
someone in a
said it.
okay, there's no 100% in science ever. There's no such thing as 100%. As long as something is like logically possible. Yeah, like I don't know what else to tell
You
you. Can
keep
you just
making absurdities and trying to make arguments based off of your own
absurdities? What
absurdities.
did I
This
say
is
that
not
was
how this
absurd?
works.
Yeah, I mean it's a reductive ad absurdum. I'm sorry you're not
Also, can
familiar with
somebody in the
that.
audience find that study? Because there's no fucking way.
Yeah, right. Okay, anyways, Doug.
I
So what
just
I'm
found it.
saying,
It's
right,
from
is
the New England Journal of Medicine, and it
have
doesn't
been in a
say what
coma.
she said.
Okay. Yeah,
Guys,
so
keep tapping. Hold on.
it's
Guys,
people that
keep
have
tapping.
been
30K, we can move on. 30K likes, we can move on. Okay. Go ahead.
okay, yeah. So so there's people that are in a coma, right? They come out of the state of a coma and they participate in a survey, right? 1 in 4 people, right, report
Cool.
that they had a subjective
Perfect.
first
Okay,
person
cool,
experience in the state of a coma. But
cool. I
the
don't know
rest
why
of
you
those
keep
people
bringing it
didn't.
up.
They weren't sentient.
You don't know what sentience means.
I'm using sentience as a first person subjective experience. How are you using
You're not
sentience?
using sentience correctly. Again, like if you are
I am.
no, you're not. If you're sleeping, for example, and you're not dreaming, you are still sentient,
Okay,
right?
are you
There,
having
there,
an experience if you're not dreaming?
you.
Are you having an experience
That's
if you're?
not. That's not. That's not
That's what
the
sentience is,
prerequisite.
dude. It's about
That's not the
experiencing.
prerequisite. You don't have to. It's just your like.
Dude,
As long as you can hold on.
experience is a necessary condition for sentience.
As long
No,
as you can
it's
perceive stimuli and react to it, that's sentience, right?
Okay,
And
do you
that
think
is
plants are sentient?
right.
Do you think plants are sentient?
You're a pain in the ass, and you need to be quiet when you're
almost
asked to be
literally.
quiet.
Do you think
Almost
plants are
literally.
sentient?
You right.
Do you think plants are
So
sentient?
Well, hold on. I got
Do you think
stop
something.
plants
it.
are sentient?
Right, I'm just going to boot you
Guys,
if you
remember it's
can't be
two
quiet.
to move on. For the galaxy, whoever's Ingrid, Ingrid, by the way, thank you, Ingrid. But if you're trying to, like, it's 2 of them, so it doesn't have to be from you. The second one.
Wait, host, do you take the view that plants are sentient
Can
because they
you
respond to
be
stimuli?
quiet?
Because they respond to stimuli? Do
No,
you?
can you be quiet?
Okay,
Host,
I
do you
do
take
have
that
to
view?
hold on. I got something very important to say. One and probably many of the guests or the people in the chat hate you so much they paid to get rid of you. Also, Tammy for the 20 on Venmo says Yeetus the fetus. She was absolutely 100% reading from a script. Like it's almost like we couldn't deviate from said script. Do we have another Phil, bro? Are you guys in a Discord and just anytime an abortion comes up, ooh, let's go into that live? Is that what's happening here? You want to have a conversation, or are you going to do something weird? Sounds like you're doing something weird.
No, I'm good.
It
Nah.
definitely got very weird very quickly.
Yep.
So my thing is, okay, using words is fine, right? We all use
Words. I
words when
know
we
the
make.
best words. I have the best words.
Yes, like using words is fine, right? Having a little thesaurus in your pocket and using words that sound pretty are great. Everybody should have a favorite word, in my opinion. I love the word sonder. I encourage everyone to look up what sonder means. To sonder would be how you put that in a sentence, right? Love the word, great word. Not every conversation, not every discussion needs a fancy word, right? Just because you saw a word and you thought it was pretty doesn't mean you have to sprinkle it like parsley in every sentence. For somebody wondering what Sonder I was talking about, it's Sonder.
All
Sonder.
right, all right.
Yeah,
Is
I
this
just wanted
another one? Are
to
we doing? Is
ask.
this another one? Is this going to be another Phil, bro?
No, of course not.
Okay, I just need to know
I just
your age. I
wanted
just
to.
need to know your age. I need to know your age before. Just tell me
Yeah,
your
I'm
age.
I'm 19. I'm 19.
All right, cool. What's up?
All right, it was just my question. Like, what is your actual issue with like Filbros? Like, I'm not a Filbro, but what is your problem with like someone just having like higher precision on like a formal way to represent their ideas? Like, isn't that better for comparison? And
No,
like,
so my issue with Phil Bros is this, right? So like I think a lot of them just do it for a sport. And listen, if you like debating, I get it, I understand. But it doesn't seem like many of them, and I'm not gonna say all, but many of them don't actually care about the issue of abortion. They just like to win debates. And I think they just thrive off of winning debates rather than actually caring about how this affects women. And so that's my issue, and it just
yeah,
seems like they kind of use a script sometimes. But yeah.
I don't really see how that follows. Again, like, they're just gonna be able to talk about these issues with like a higher level of intricacy than like the average person could, just because they don't have that formal system or like those like quote unquote special words that they used to convey like
Yeah. So
a more
this is
specific
another
meaning.
right. This is another reason why like there's a high level of arrogance with Phil Bros. They try to purposely use words to confuse people, and somehow that makes them feel
Right.
superior and more intelligent. Yeah.
I mean, my advice would just be like learning those words and not
Right.
like getting
Right.
confused
No,
by them as
Right.
a host.
Exactly.
And
my
Right.
my
Right.
issue with it is that TikTok lives are a mixture of political lives, are a mixture of debate and entertainment, and if the audience can't understand what we are saying or what the person we're talking to is saying, there's literally no point.
oh, the
It just then becomes an intellectual exercise between them.
well, you should
And
just be like philosophically inclined enough to act as like a mediator to your
Right. So
audience.
you're
Like
doing
you
it right
could.
now. Like you're literally doing
Oh
it
no,
right
no,
now.
you
You
can.
came you came
All
in
I'm saying is that you
pretending.
can convey the meaning from the person and then tell,
I
like,
mean,
explain to your
personally,
audience in like a more
personally, I
digestible
don't
way.
care.
Like
Personally, I
what?
don't care about the words being used because I understand what's being said, which is
It's
how I know to say when it's wrong. On the opposite side of that,
Exactly.
it's not necessarily something that you need to do in these conversations. And on the other part of that, if the fundamental basis of your argument is philosophy, you've already lost. And that's something you learn in debate classes as a high
That
school
made no
student.
sense. Unfortunately, that made absolutely no sense.
all
Like
right.
what?
Let me.
If
Okay.
it's
Cool.
based in philosophy, it makes no sense. How the fuck does that follow? Like on it, like I'm just losing brain cells. Right? You guys have a good day.
Well, hold on. Somebody wants to speak to you. Hold on, don't leave. Ah, God damn it, he just left.
It's fine. Buzzy actually said
What do you
what
want
I
to
was gonna
say?
say.
Yeah.
I was just, I mean, honestly, I wanted to kick him mid talking, but I should keep a lid on
You're all
my
good.
my thumb. But
Yeah. What?
they don't. This is what I always ask. I always will say, well, tell me that argument now in language that everybody else can hear, and they can't because they also don't understand it. They only understand it in those words. I really believe that a lot of them don't even understand it completely.
Yeah, I think that you're right. Like in the sense of their own argument, I don't think they do because yes, I think it's a good thing if somebody can simplify it to explain it to somebody like who's whatever of average intelligence. And if they can't do so, then I don't think they fully understand their own argument. I
Yeah,
would agree. I would
yeah,
agree. Yeah.
but yeah. Buzzy said what I was going to say, so I'll drop.
Yeah. All right, Ash, you doing
And
well?
you learn that in like basic, you learn that when you're starting to have those arguments, or like when you're in middle school and your teacher tells you to pick a side, you learn that philosophy and morality is not going to lead you to a argument of which you can have objective rightness or objective wrongness. I'm
Yep.
not arguing with you based on your feelings. Find a hobby.
Thank you, Sarah. Make sure you all send in the heart me's if you guys can, please. Everybody in here, heart me, heart me, heart me. It's the little thing at the top next to where it says Doug. If you all can, all right. Dude, I would have brought you back up, the one who was just in, but Ash already left. Ash, if you're still in here and you
Du-
want to talk to him, that's fine. What's up, America?
Doug, you're really difficult to hear today. I'm not
Shit.
sure why, but you are.
Well, let's change it. Let's see what's up. What's my input? Oh, you ready for this? It's gonna get better. Am I better?
Yes.
Like much?
Yes.
Nice. There we go. Sorry, guys.
Sometimes it automatically makes this the input rather than this, and this is much better than this. Paige, you want to talk to him? Dude, I can bring you back up when somebody wants to talk to you. Guys, keep tapping and sharing. Sorry, you guys. Normally I wouldn't do this, but we don't have anybody else. All right, dude. Let me bring her up.
Yeah,
and then
I just wanted to say, like,
hold on. There's somebody else.
I just wanted to
just speak to
I just wanted to
just speak Fish.
I just wanted to quickly like clarify. Because you have different like philosophical or like moral frameworks, right? The whole point of an internal critique is to take those parameters and variables of the other person's view and find an internal contradiction in their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you not understand that? Like, clearly you don't know anything. Like,
wait. The point is like that you, let's say you have you follow the philosophical thought of Foucault, right? I'm just saying shit, okay? And I follow down a different path.
I understand
right?
what you're saying. Yeah,
Well, I haven't even finished what I was going to say, okay?
I know where you're going with it.
But no, you don't. So
Okay, sure.
here's the thing. It's like a hamster wheel. It's just two thoughts that are just going to keep going around and around
Can
and
I-
around.
Can I explain why it's not?
No, be quiet. Quiet. I am speaking. If you need a binky, I'm happy to give you one, but I don't think I
Oh, sure.
should. Okay, cool. Thanks. But here's the thing. While you guys, in particular to this topic of abortion, while you guys sit here, whilst you Philbros sit and wax philosophical about it, we are dying. We have women who have passed away, have lost their lives, who have orphaned their other children. That's why we get really pissed with this particular topic in the Philbro. Like, I don't mind Philbroing with Philbros. I know how to wear you fuckers out. It's extremely easy.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
so there's the element that you guys really don't care. You're not taking it seriously. You're not taking the experience, the actualization of it seriously. So there's that part. That's one part of the Philbro shit we don't like. But you're also using language and weaponizing said language that the average watcher, the viewer, does not understand. That is on par with me coming up here and expregnerans and jevrasamene.
What did you just say?
Exactly my point. It is on par of me coming up here and I start speaking in the other languages that I speak, and most people don't understand me. It is a weapon, and it is exhausting. So if you guys, because I am actually musicals with Philbros, okay? If you guys would just dumb it down a little bit, however the expression you want to use, you want to make it so that people will actually listen to you and try to maybe you persuade them, use more common language.
And unlike Paige, I don't like to spar with Philbros or Philbroettes. I personally do not give a fuck about your feelings. I like actualities. That is why I don't have those arguments. That's why philosophy does not move me. I don't argue based on morality because I like actualities.
All right, can I respond to Paige real quick? Yeah, Paige, the reason it's not a hamster wheel is because you, again, as I said, you take the parameters and variables of their like perspective or worldview, and then you look for like an internal contradiction, or like two things cannot be true at once.
I understand
so that's
the
why it's
mechanics.
not a hamster wheel.
No, no. I do understand the mechanics. It goes around and around because nobody's going to be from the Philbro. Nobody's going to be the right or wrong. You can sit, and I've been on this app for 6 years. Debate Talk for 5.
Do you not hear what I said? Or?
It is a hamster wheel. Nobody's going to be more right or wrong. And the point of debating is persuasion. Persuading the viewer.
Oh, I would agree
you
with
are
that,
not doing that. Now,
Listen,
when you
listen.
guys, when I go
That
to
is not the
Phil,
point of a debate. That is the opposite
no,
of the
that
point of
is
a debate.
No, that's
absolutely
very
That is
the
the
much.
point
point
of
of a
a
Very much
debate.
to
Oh
debate.
my God.
persuade.
Persuading the viewer instead of the truth? Wait, what? Wait, what are we
But
saying
Yes,
here?
persuasion.
but the debate. Hold on, I want to make this very important or very clear. The debate is about
You're talking about a good faith
hold on,
debate versus a
hold
bad
on.
faith debate.
The debate is about who appears to be correct, right? For example, somebody who is a flat earther could technically win a debate against somebody who's not if they somehow convince most of the people watching. That's all it's about. It's not about who's right, it's about who's perceived to be correct. That's
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
important.
I understand, but yeah, that would be like a bad faith debate. Like in like a
Not a
natural
bad
debate,
faith debate. That's how debates work. That is the
no, you would
fundamental of
Yeah,
debate.
for
You're
better or
supposed
worse,
to
the
that's it.
fundamental.
persuade. It's
The whole point of
persuasion.
debate is to extract like a truth from like what you're talking about.
No,
Like when
that's
No,
it comes
that's
to
no, it
like
called a
is
an
Hold
lecture.
on,
not.
No,
but
That is
if
that's
not.
that's a
if
lecture.
but if 1,000 people view it and they don't perceive that as being the truth, right? And like 999 don't perceive it, but one does. Well, I'm sorry, it didn't work out for you.
I just wanted to quickly respond to Paige. The whole point of having a formal system like classical logic, for example, is to be able to formalize these ideas and point out an objective like contradiction in someone's view. That's how you can actually realize who's wrong and who's right. If you use like more abstract terms that aren't gonna be as specific, that you're gonna get less of a truth out of what you're talking about because nothing is gonna like there's not gonna be that much utility in the words you're using.
Okay,
Like
so
everything you're saying is just backwards, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, sure. That's why I've been here much longer than you have.
But you didn't
But
address
here's
a
the
single thing
thing.
I said.
But
You
here,
just kept
no,
on like
actually, you did.
yapperating.
Yeah, sure. Here's the thing. Then riddle me this, Batman. When I go to Philbro debates and watch them, they've got maybe 35 to 70 people. I know that's a huge delta, but work with it, right? That is a huge delta, I'll
It is.
admit.
It is.
They maybe get like 30 to 70 people. But if I go to I go to watch debates where people are not Philbroing out, right? How come there are more viewers that stay engaged? The
Again,
comments
because
flow more and stay engaged.
it's more digestible to like the
Right,
average
and that
viewer because they're
yeah.
gonna
And
understand more of the
that's the
language.
point,
Thank you.
because here's the point. I don't debate cis men when it comes to abortion. Because it's none of your fucking business. You're not a woman. You don't have skin in the game. Y'all need to stay out of women's.
Uh,
Wait, hold on. I'm not going to go into the debate part. Hold on. Listen what I'm about to say. What y'all need to do is stay the fuck out of women's business, right? I will not do that. I will participate with women, femme presenting people, trans men, okay, uterus owners. That I will, because I want to persuade those pro-lifers to change their vote so they stop voting against abortion. That's my only reason I ever talk about abortion. I don't get off on it. I'm not trying to sit there and up on one person to the next. I just want them to stop voting against women's health care. That's it.
I agree. Same stance. I do the same.
yeah, I just agree on the fact that I think men can have like opinions on abortion. I do think they can argue
But
about it. I don't see
but
why you need to be a
but
You,
woman.
Paige
you
didn't.
can have an opinion.
Yeah. Paige didn't say you couldn't have an
I just
opinion.
want to know as to why you think quote unquote it's a woman's business. I agree it is, but you can still have
Because it
like do
doesn't
you not
affect
agree with
your
people
body. The
defending abortion?
actuality of it does not affect your body. It is not your body at risk. There are
So
Yes.
actualities in this. As
yeah, of
as we
course.
talked about earlier, I've said it, Paige said it. There are actualities. So I don't care about your feelings or your opinions where there is actual data that's telling me that women are dying at the hands of people who clearly don't read.
And guys, there's
Yeah,
somebody in the
again,
request box. Hold on, there's somebody in the request box. Orlando, we can get to you once we're done. 50K, guys.
I'm
50K
nearly done.
likes.
Nearly done.
No,
I'm
I'm not,
done.
this is. I don't understand every time I say that the guests want to leave. I'm not kicking you out. I'm just saying, in the future you'll be gone at 50K likes. You can continue to
Yeah,
talk.
sure.
Okay.
I just feel like we're not gonna really get anywhere. Like I already said what I've said, and I don't think there's like any like. I don't think you guys are absorbing the information.
But
Like
do you
doing
do,
anything.
but
You're
do
just
you
kind of
not agree?
steamrolling.
No,
Do you
I
not agree
think you
that?
care more about your feelings and
Wait, I
actualities,
just
and
want
you're
to hear the. I
upset
just
with
want to
the
hear the
fact that we
host.
won't,
I just
you're
want to hear the
upset with
host.
the fact
You can
that
hear
we
her
won't
too.
engage with your feelings or your philosophical origins.
But
I
I'm
don't
not
care
going
about
into
those
any
feelings.
philosophical origin. What are you talking
do you
about?
not?
Like,
But do you?
do you
That's
actually hear
not
what I'm
what the
saying?
fuck I said. Use your
Yes, you did. You
ears.
said you don't care about my philosophical grounding or perspective on like abortion, for
Correct.
example.
So
I
with
never
that
went
being
into
said,
it.
I didn't say you did. I said you are upset that we would not argue on that basis. And I said
I
that, and that's
never
why you
wanted to
came back.
argue. I never wanted to argue about abortion.
Then why did you
I just
come
thought you
back when I said I would
because
not argue on those
because you didn't
bases?
understand what an internal critique was. I just wanted to make it clear to you.
I did understand what an internal critique was,
What
and
is
I
it? Please,
actually
please
showed
explain it
that.
to me.
And I
Oh my
said the
god.
same thing that Paige said several times over. Maybe clean out your ears
Yeah, Paige
and
was wrong.
also
Paige was wrong.
for your feel and also you're not, maybe you're not old enough to have taken the college level courses that teach you about Aristotle, but I think you
Jesus
need to
Christ.
revisit that
Do you not
if you
agree?
Yeah, buddy, that's not
have.
Okay.
how college works,
Guess
unfortunately. But
guess
okay.
do you not agree that like if you really know a topic that it might be good, like if you can't explain it in very simple terms or simpler
Yeah,
terms,
I agree.
then maybe you don't.
I agree.
But that's all we're trying to get at. Like
Wait, what do you
like
mean that's not how college works? There's base level classes that you have to take when you're getting an associate's degree, and then that allows you, depending on what track you take, to take your bachelor's degree. But there are basic courses that
Yeah, that's
everyone
not how it
has
works
to
here.
take upon entering college.
Yeah, that's
Unless
not
you're
how it
not
works
in
here.
America. Are you not in
I'm not in
America?
America. No, I'm not.
Okay, so then there we go. All right.
Well,
Yeah, sure. Wait.
it's how college works here as well, Buzzy. If you were doing a course in philosophy, the first thing that you would do is an introduction to classical philosophy, where you
You
would
said
talk about. I'm sorry, still talking. Thank you. Where you would learn about Plato, and then you'd learn about Socrates and Aristotle, and you learn about the Lyceum and the academy and all of that stuff and their basic fundamental ideas. And that, by the way, is how I knew that guy who was up earlier wasn't actually a Philbro and knew nothing about it, was because I asked him about cogito ergo sum and he didn't even know what it was. So if you don't have a basic grounding in classical philosophy, but you've just read or watched a ton of I don't know, people on YouTube talking about philosophy, that would not go down well in academic circles whatsoever. You have to have a basic understanding of where all that stuff came from.
Okay. Yeah. I think everyone agrees. Anyway,
okay.
host. Again. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Like, if you can't reduce down your argument a bit and like explain it in more simple like language, of course, I don't think you understand your argument that well.
Sure, and
I don't think that's
that's all.
necessarily true. I
But I
don't
think
that's
that's all we're
necessarily
asking.
true. Sometimes it requires like certain language to
Well,
convey what you actually mean.
Well, of course, if you're talking about like string theory, like for example, of course, like you're gonna have to use certain words. Sure.
Yeah, but
I get
it doesn't. Yeah, but you understand in a philosophical context, like abstracting down something that much to a point where like a layman can understand it is still gonna like reduce a bit of the utility and like meaning.
No, I think you can
like
absolutely. I'm not saying use like words like only a 5-year-old can understand, but you know, somebody a high schooler can understand something like that. I think is fair.
Yeah, all I'm saying is right. Wait, hold on. I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Hold on. All I'm saying is, I do think there's like a Philbro culture in which they just try to like obfuscate with like random words that sound like fancy to like the average person.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't think we should undermine like classical logic or like philosophy in of itself just because you have that kind of culture when it comes to Philbros. I mean, that's kind of what Paige was saying. Like, no, you're never gonna get to like a truth that you can extract from a debate. Like, it's not.
That's incorrect. So the problem comes. This isn't a philosophical debate. It never.
No one said it was.
Doug has. I'm still talking. Doug has never, it indicated to anybody that this is a place to come if you want to have a philosophical debate. I mean,
when did I would say that?
I'm still talking. I would say if you do want to have that kind of debate, there are spaces to go to on TikTok. This is more of a political conversation, right? And we call them debates in a colloquial way, but they're not debates in the same sense that a debate club would be a debate, right? Because we don't have 3 speakers on either side, a moderator, and all of those things. And they're also not debates in the sense of like a presidential debate. There is no fact checker. We are the fact checkers as we are talking. So when people come in here and they try and make it a philosophical debate as opposed to a debate about what is actually happening every day in people's lives and how that is affecting them and what that's doing to the economy, and that's what we're talking about. And when you come in and you and what happens is, very occasionally we get a Philbro come in and try and Philbro it, where they're just using all of these words that really are only important and only understandable within the context of a philosophical debate, and that's not what this is.
Hold on, Erica. I have to
Okay.
read this YouTube comment. I don't want to hear a foreigner talking about American politics. What?
You,
Well,
I'm
we're
telling you,
talking
they're
about
feral.
abortion. Guys,
We're talking about abortion.
abortion doesn't exist anywhere but in America. America is the center of everything. Everywhere else is wrong. America is right. That's it, guys.
The
I'm gonna,
mitochondria, if you will, the powerhouse.
yeah, I'm gonna.
Orlando,
I'm
you're gonna be
say
in
to
soon.
that-
Sorry.
I'm gonna say to that person, I'll talk about whatever the fuck I like, and you won't. You can't stop me. The end.
Yeah. Or Orlando, the fact that you
all
keep
right.
begging to come on in when you know I'm not going to let you in until he leaves is a little worrisome. What's up, man?
No, I'm just gonna drop off because I don't think we're gonna get to anything.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. There's something else I'll bring
Erica,
it up?
I recommend you like open your ears next time, like respectfully.
Me?
Nah.
Erica.
Orlando, now you
I
can come on
Erica?
up.
I literally only
Erica?
talked at the very end
Yeah.
because I was
Hold on.
walking my
Hold on.
actual
Right.
dog. I wasn't a dog
Hold
walker.
on,
I'm
dude.
talking Orlando.
What is
I
your?
was
Go ahead, Erica. Dude, wait.
I was out walking my dog for 20 minutes of that conversation. So I said something at the very beginning of it, and then I said something at the very end of it. My ears are open. By the way, I also teach classical philosophy to like 13-year-olds who understand it far better than some of the Philbros that come up here.
All right, Orlando. I just need to know your age for TikTok TOS.
Right.
How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 19, pal.
Okay. All right. You can go ahead. Just be patient, man. What's
Right.
up?
Firstly, I want to apologize on that. I was only asking to let me in because that guy seemed like he was already done arguing. To be honest with you. Firstly, I don't really understand this whole abortion aspect. Right. So.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Before we get into that, how do you identify?
What do you mean? As a him? As a guy?
Yes. Are you a straight man?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm not talking to you about abortion. Find something else.
What? That
Are
makes
you
no
pro-life?
sense.
Are you pro-life?
In some aspects, I am. Not
Okay.
in all of them.
All right.
Not in all of
Well,
them.
Ash wants to speak to you. She wants to speak. What's up, Ash? Go ahead.
Okay.
You're pro-life?
In some aspects, not all of them.
I don't know
Like
what that
in
means.
the instance of grape.
Okay,
then no.
okay. Hold on. I just have to I would like to make sure that you're equipped to have this conversation. So I just have a couple questions for you, okay?
Okay.
We'll just start with some easy ones. Where does pregnancy occur?
What do you mean? Where does pregnancy occur? In
Where
the
does it
bed?
occur?
In the bedroom?
Well,
That's
no,
not what it
pregnancy
After-
No, actually pregnancy doesn't occur in the bedroom. What? That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. So where does pregnancy occur?
The back seat of a car, Ash.
Yeah.
maybe? I
Thank
don't
you,
know.
Erica.
Sometimes.
Thank you.
Sometimes, Erica. Sometimes.
Yeah. See.
The
That's
restroom.
not
Well,
very
I
much
mean,
of a question.
pregnancy
Yeah, public
occurs.
It could literally occur
To be
anywhere.
clear,
That's not what she
there's a
means.
couple ways we could answer this question. If you're asking for the location the person is, we don't know because pregnancy doesn't occur when you have sex. That's silly. So clearly you don't understand that. So can you tell me? I'll be a little bit more
Hold up. What do you mean
specific.
pregnancy?
Where in the body does pregnancy occur?
The uterus.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
If you go to the doctor and you are 10 weeks pregnant, when did conception occur?
I actually don't know that, to be honest with you. I haven't done my research into that.
Don't you think that would be important, especially when we're talking about timing and pregnancy?
Well, not really, because it depends.
No.
It depends.
No.
Not really. No.
Okay. Where does fertilization happen?
in the ovaries. What do you mean?
Fertilization happens in the ovaries.
Yes, the
Are
sperm
you
goes into the
sure?
ovary. The sperm goes into the ovaries, and it.
Yeah, you're
That's
doing great. Keep going.
okay. Thank you. Yeah,
You're
I've
doing
just.
wonderful. Tell us about how fertilization happens in the ovaries.
Bro, I'm not a female. I don't know that.
Oh, that's
I ain't
interesting.
looked into
That's
that.
interesting. Cool. So if I were to say something like, I'm going to debate on heart surgery, and then you were to be like,
Okay.
oh, can you tell me about the functions of the heart? And I was like, yes, they have one chamber and 99 problems.
Okay, but
How
that
would you
isn't.
feel? How would you feel about me making laws and debating
But I'm not
about
making
heart
laws.
surgery
When
and
did I say I'm
cardiac
making laws?
knowledge?
You're putting words
But
into my mouth. When did
Well,
I
I'm
say I'm making
not. I'm
laws?
not. How am I going to
You
have a
just said it.
conversation with you on abortion when you think fertilization happens in the ovaries, my guy?
Ash,
Because,
can I just
like
point
I've
out
already
something?
said.
Ash, can I just point out
Yes,
something? He
yes.
proved my point because his last statement there, when you backed him into the corner, was that he's not a
Back to
female,
you
which
to
is
the corner.
precisely my point. This is why I said I
Yeah,
wasn't talking to you about this.
there you
Thank you
go.
for answering the why for an audience of 340 people.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
man.
What
firstly,
you said, no,
okay,
hold
never
on.
mind.
Yeah,
Never mind, just talk about it.
exactly. Never mind. Thank you. Because what you said is, I'm not a female. I don't know anything about this. I just want to have an opinion on the outcome and what you should do.
Okay, everyone has opinions. They're like arseholes. Everyone has them.
Everybody has
That's
an
funny.
asshole. I get it.
Yep.
That's funny.
Right? Yeah, great.
Right.
You did great there.
So,
That was great.
so what you're saying is because I'm not a female, I'm not
Well, I
allowed
think
my
you
own
should be
opinion.
educated on this.
No, but what you're saying is because I'm not a female, I'm not allowed my own opinion. That's
No,
what
you
you're
That's
saying.
proved the
oh,
point that you don't care. Because if you cared, you would educate yourself. Because as a person who has a uterus and can get
Mhm.
pregnant, it is absolutely imperative for me to understand because timing is now so crucial, right? So in states, when they say you can't get an abortion before 6 weeks, that gives me perhaps 2 weeks after learning I may be pregnant and you didn't know. You didn't know how long ago sex happened that created that child if I was 6 weeks pregnant, right? So
Okay.
you don't, hold on, shut the fuck up, piggy.
Oh, sorry, master.
Okay, yeah. So this is the problem. You don't care and you don't know. So you are willing to put in things like 6-week bans or allow states to make those decisions because you don't know and you don't care. So we have to pick up the pieces of your stupidity. The medical providers have to pick up the pieces of your stupidity. We have to pick up the pieces of the legislators who say things like, you can swallow a camera. And we can track your pregnancy. We can remove an ectopic pregnancy and transfer it to the uterus.
Host, am I allowed to
We
talk
want
now?
you to educate yourselves and shut the fuck up.
Host, am I able to?
guys,
Like,
65,000
No.
likes for a new guest.
No.
65,000 likes for a new
You
guest.
did
I've
it.
literally
No.
had no.
Yes,
But she asked you
did.
questions.
Hold on. No. Hold on. I came up to give you a test to see if you were worthy of having a conversation with me. You failed.
So
I'm not having a conversation
don't
with
conversate with me
somebody.
then.
You didn't pass the test, bro.
Get your nose out my conversation then. There's other
Nobody
women
up
on
here
here.
wants to talk to you
There's other
either. We
women
all
on
said
here.
it. Who's going to
Erica-
talk to you up here?
Erica hasn't
Erica's
said
not gonna
nothing.
talk to you.
Can you talk to Erica? Can
Nope.
Erica
Nobody
not think
wants
for
to talk
herself?
to you. You
Hold
are
on,
an
hold on.
uneducated.
Bro,
you
you
are
can
an
find another live, I'm sure.
uneducated person.
Bro,
Can
you can
Erica
find
not
another
think
live, I'm
herself?
sure. But
I'm more than capable of thinking for myself, Orlando. But
Right.
no. Hushies. Thank you. But Ash is correct. You don't know anything about the process of conception apart from the fact that the uterus is where, a fetus grows. If you don't know, and by the way, I teach sex education in the country that you live in, and I'm embarrassed at your lack of knowledge. Your teacher must have been fucking awful.
Thank you. I see that as a compliment because I don't trust teachers. 9% of the teachers are like far left now.
Okay, guys, 65,000 likes for a new
talk?
guest. Keep
Hush.
tapping and sharing. Hold on. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube as well. Listen, man, here's the deal. Do you not understand what she's saying? Like, do you get that, like, hey, if you want to have a conversation or a debate, whatever you want to call it, about this, that it may be good to know about the basic things, right? Does that make sense?
I wasn't even disagreeing though. I didn't even get a single point out because she was just talking so much shit that I said literally nothing.
No, that is the point. Is that we don't want to hear your
That's
points.
the entire point.
So pick a different topic. You didn't pass the test. You cannot discuss abortion with us. You can talk about something else. You want to talk about MAGA, politics? We'll talk with you about that. But you did not pass the test. You are not welcome here to engage in that conversation with anybody here. So
Okay.
you can no.
Okay, all right, then I'll change the subject. Can
Okay,
you,
We can talk about
Awesome.
something else
Okay,
in the
I'll
meantime.
drop.
That's fine.
I'll drop.
Yeah,
I did my
okay.
job. Bye.
Okay.
Thanks, Ash.
Oh,
Take care.
wow. So she's,
All right.
she's just gone.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Remember, guys, 65,000 likes, new guest. We are looking for opposition. If you're in the request box, be patient. We will get to you. Okay. All right.
Dude, that's
so what's
just
up?
frightening, bro.
Yeah, that's
honestly.
sure. That's fine.
That's
That's fine. So what's up?
Bro, like, I didn't even get to say a single
Okay.
thing. She just spoke over me the whole time.
Sure.
What's the point of even
So what
joining
are we
the live?
talking about now?
What do you mean, sure? I said nothing.
Sure. So what are we talking about now?
wanted to. Oh, hold on. Firstly, I joined up because I felt bad at that other bloke. Because no offense, these women were just straight up picking on bro. They were just straight up.
Nah.
That's what you got out of that.
It
You
is.
wanted
It
to
is
argue about his
absolutely
feelings.
Orlando. It's absolutely a choice whether you are here or not.
Right.
If
How
if
old are you? How old are you? If I don't mind. If you don't mind.
47, Orlando.
47.
47.
Right. What about you, lady
How
at the
old are
bottom?
you, Orlando?
I'm 19.
Oh yeah, no, this is not a thing that's
I
occurring.
already said my age.
I
What
was
do you
walking.
mean?
I wasn't listening, Orlando. I was walking my dog.
Okay, so what's the lady's age at the bottom? If I
Why
don't,
does this matter?
if
Why
she
does this
don't mind
matter?
answering.
Why does this matter?
Well, see, from the scenes of it, a lot of girls my age are getting abortions because a lot of older women are saying it's fine. Like they're trying to
How do you
talk
know?
younger women
Okay. How do you?
because
How do you know that's the
okay,
case?
because that I literally see it happening every day.
Okay, but what
In
we
my college,
perceive, sure, but what
right?
we perceive is not necessarily objective. It would be a subjective thing. So if you can provide maybe data that, like when these women are asked in a poll or something like that, that they did it because
Okay.
somebody told them, sure, that would be evidence. But your perception isn't evidence, unfortunately.
No, but
Also, that is, and so at least
perception is
I can't speak for your country specifically because I haven't looked at new
and my
data.
age gap.
However,
My age is different.
old data suggests that majority of abortions are carried out by women that are in marriages. Married women statistically get the most abortions.
I don't think that's right.
This could be unique to America, but last time I read, I don't think so. If somebody has recent data, we can look at that. But in America, majority of abortions are had by married women, and the number one cause of that is poverty
Right,
or the
listen.
lack of access to resources.
Listen, I'll say this. I agree with you guys on the fact
And
of
also,
if
Orlando,
okay, never
also you
mind.
were told to pick a different topic.
Yeah, you're trying to sneak
But
back
I
into
already
it. Yeah,
came.
you're trying to
No,
sneak back
yeah,
into it.
You were told
yeah,
to
because
pick a different topic.
why would I pick a different topic when I couldn't
Because
even
I'm
say?
not talking to you
But I
about
couldn't even say
abortion
anything,
when
bro.
you know nothing. You
I
couldn't
couldn't
say
even say
anything
anything.
because you know
I
nothing.
was getting
And even
spoke
the data
over.
you just presented was you knowing nothing, which is why I stepped in to correct you. So
How?
Dougie doesn't get hit with you quite literally spreading misinformation.
This is not
Fuzzy,
misinformation. People my
Fuzzy,
age.
I've just,
Okay.
Fuzzy, sorry, my dog's talking to me. I just looked it up, and actually in the UK, it's predominantly single women. However,
Oh wow.
50%, however, 50% of those women already have children. So it's not 50% of ABs are women who already have children, which would point to the same thing as you're saying, that that actually this isn't so much down to people just using it as a method of birth control. It's down to people objectively looking at their lives and thinking, can I bring another child into the world right now?
But if that's
No.
the case, like this is one thing that I've noticed throughout the years is if a woman does not want children, why have your legs open for a man to impregnate you.
No, we're not going to do that.
We're not
You're
doing the abortion
19.
topic.
You're
We've already said
You know what?
so.
Let's switch. Let's segue this,
That's
right?
a
Well,
fact, though,
Let's
no?
segue
What-
this. Why aren't men lonely enough, Orlando? Why
Why,
aren't men lonely enough?
Orlando?
almost there,
What do you mean,
guys.
why aren't
Almost
men
there.
lonely
I'm
enough?
assuming, Orlando, that you've had a vasectomy, right?
No.
Oh,
Oh, so
are
you're
you?
not
All right.
doing your
Well,
part. Do
here.
you
Well,
expect women to have engagements with
we
you
hit
when they're in
65,000
relationships
likes. We
with
hit
you?
65,000 likes. Goodbye. That's the goal. We hit it. We're out of here. See?
Yeah, and
I
I
know
want
you
to
guys
point
can tap
out,
quick. Good.
abortion, AB in the UK is not a topic that politically is even really on the table. It is so widely accepted by the public that there are very good reasons for AB. And it's also incredibly widely accepted by the public what used to happen before it became legal. Back alley ABs are freaking awful, and people are going to have them whether it's legal to or not.
For sure. 100%.
So,
all right, guys. I'm going to get to you in 1 second. Everybody, I hope you're all having a good night, evening, day, morning, whatever time it is by you. Hope it's going well. If you are enjoying it live, click the red follow button on the top left on TikTok. On YouTube, click the subscribe in the top right. Both of you guys, if you guys can like the live, I don't think you tap on YouTube, but do whatever you do over there. Make sure you guys join Discord. The link is in my bio on TikTok, okay? If the link doesn't work, just DM me. I'll give you the proper link. All right, maybe. What's up?
Hi. Good morning.
Hi. Just before we go forward, I want to say that I'm only looking for opposition, people that disagree. So, do you disagree on something that we're talking about or something on screen?
Yeah, just like the topic that was happening like
That's fine.
before.
Okay, I just need to know your
I
age.
don't want to
Just
keep talking about abortion, Doug. We're gonna be here all night.
all
talking
right, all
about
right.
Quite
AB.
Yeah, that's fine.
literally.
No, it's
All right.
it's not
Stop
really
Done
for.
talking
the
about it.
Discord.
Sorry, it wasn't
Done
like
talking
for
about
or
it.
against. It was just the fact that everybody wants men to like understand this situation or not, whatever, however. But if you keep shutting everyone down, the males in particular, how are you expecting them to understand?
I don't want men to understand. I want them to stop policing women's bodies while expecting so much of women. And so maybe that's truly why they're not lonely enough. You know what? Let's ponder this. What do you think would happen if women truly engaged with what was happening in South Korea and still happening with that group of women that are doing what they have been called the 4B movement, where they want to live a life choosedly and pointedly without men? And this came on the heels of what happened in France to that woman that found out that her own husband was drugging her and letting men assault her. And then they had evidence of it. This came when they found out that there was a group chat in South Korea, or several group chats with hundreds of men engaging in this, where they were outing their female relatives and female coworkers as quote unquote feminists, providing their location so that women could get assaulted. There was also a similar case to what happened in France with a young lady in London, I think. So, yeah, all of these things are happening. So let's ponder that. What do you think would truly happen if women just decided, you know what, fuck men?
But they're not doing that though, are they?
Oh no, it's happening. So we do
Well,
have data that
but
tells us
if
that more and more women are choosing to live a life communally.
okay, so if that's the case, then why is there so many abortions?
There's not so many abortions. I
Yeah,
don't know what you're
actually,
talking
Does
about
that not
statistically.
make
Abortion,
the numbers gone down significantly.
correct.
Mostly due to good sex education. Actually, is the
Yeah,
reason
very
that
true.
it's
Very
reduced.
true.
Correct. Because
but
knowledge equals
it's still
power,
happening.
and
The
power has
knowledge would
stopped
be
women
if
from
you are
engagement.
going to have unprotected sex, surely you
Right.
would have the morning after pill before you had to go and access an abortion, or
Stop. Most
So we just
women,
addressed that.
we've
Hold on.
already
Yeah, go ahead.
we've already talked about this. 50% in the UK, 50% of women who have an AB are in a relationship and have children already.
okay, so surely they should have learned,
Can I
no?
finish? Is there a chance? Do you know where the mute button is? And if so, can you use it while you're not talking so that you don't feel the need to interrupt me? In fact,
You interrupt.
no. So 50% of women in the UK who have ABs already have children. They know, they know how children are conceived. This is not a situation where people are being stupid. We're human at the end of the day. And the idea that you get to set what people do in their lives, and if it doesn't conform to your standard of what's okay, then fuck them. It's just the weirdest thing. It lacks empathy, it lacks understanding of the human condition. I'm done with people having these conversations when they haven't looked at the statistics. They don't know that the number of ABs has gone down significantly. And AB will always happen, always. Because there will always be things like complications with pregnancies. There will always be pregnancies which, which threaten the life of the mother. There will always be pregnancies which are the result of rape, always. So even if we had the best sex education in the world, we would still be in the situation where ABs were occurring. I don't want to talk to anybody else who is uneducated on this topic. It's driving me nuts.
Absolutely. There's far too much at stake to be having conversation with people that only talk with their feelings and not with the data. Not doing it, either guest pick another topic or we start rambling about, I don't know, how fragile men are.
Are you there? Guest?
I don't think she knows how to unmute herself. I'll invite
she's
her.
probably just.
Oh no,
speaking.
I can. I'm just unpacking what you've said, because didn't you literally just told me to not tell you how things should be, but did you not just tell that guy how he should be?
Who did?
You.
No, I didn't.
Oh yes, you did. You was like, you can't speak on this, you can't do that.
I didn't say
and
that.
now I'm not allowed to
I
say that
didn't
to
say
you.
that.
You're
I
meant to be an
didn't say that.
educator.
I have a very distinctive voice, which is very different from anyone else's in this live. I didn't say that.
And I definitely didn't say that. My
I
voice
haven't
is
been
very
speaking, so
distinctive
I haven't
and
said
distinctive.
shit. I haven't said shit about
What
shit.
I did say, you know what I did say is based upon his answers, he clearly lacks the education to speak on that topic. And he himself stated that he was uneducated. He said that he is not a female. Why would he know this? He put himself at the helm of being uneducated and still proceeded to try to speak on things he didn't know about. Odd.
No, what's
Actually,
odd is you keep saying about
maybe,
policing people, but you
I'm
don't
gonna
police
ask,
your own bodies.
maybe
Ugh.
I'm going to ask
Really?
you I'm going to ask you the question: where does conception occur?
When sperm meets egg, no?
Which happens
No, where?
where?
In your fallopian tube, no?
Oh, well, at least you know that. He thought it was in the ovary.
Well, you was meant to be the educator, right? Why didn't you educate
No,
him?
sorry, you're not paying me to educate you. Yeah, I get paid
Well,
to
I'm sure my
educate
taxes
people.
pay you, but carry on.
Your taxes don't pay me to educate you. They don't get me. I'm not an adult educator. I get paid to educate the people who are in my classroom, and that wouldn't be
What's that
you.
noise? Hey, what's that noise? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm actually really curious. What are you doing? What was that? Maybe.
Erica's picked
I'm
up
not
a new
doing
hobby
anything.
as a
No,
mechanic.
you were making. I'm not trying to. I'm just curious as to what that noise was.
I didn't do anything.
Who was doing
It
that?
sounded like you were rolling the top of a lighter.
Yeah,
listen,
Oh my goodness, no.
Listen,
Who the fuck was it
this is
then?
the issue. I hate it when people ask a stand-up comedian to tell them a joke, because I'm like, pay them money and they'll tell you a joke, because that's their job. If I were a plumber and I was sitting here, you wouldn't ask me to come around and fix your pipes because I just happen to be a plumber on the
But I
internet.
didn't ask you to educate
So don't
me.
ask me. You just said you should be educating him.
But
No, I
that's
shouldn't.
how, that was exactly what come out of your mouth. I educate. I know what I'm talking about.
Well,
so
I
if you
do.
feel that you have some sort of knowledge, what was wrong with sharing it with a guy? What was wrong with that?
He wasn't. But first of all, again, I get paid to educate people during my working day. My job, I have no responsibility whatsoever.
But if you're gonna come on and with the rhetoric that it's like I'm the person who educates people, you told him that he had a shit teacher. If that's what you believe,
I'm gonna
yeah.
educate you right now. The way you should have pronounced that word was rhetoric, not rhetoric. There you go.
I really
There's your
couldn't
education.
give a shit. I mean, in reality, this is TikTok. No one really cares. However, the point still remains that that's what come out of your mouth.
So,
are you going to pay her for your education?
It does. It comes out my taxes. Anyway,
You're
moving
not,
forward,
you're not
once
a
again.
child. You're not
No,
this has been addressed. Let's
you're not
repeat
a
what Erica
child.
said, because clearly you didn't listen to what she said. You are not a child. You are an adult. Erica gets
Once
paid
again, I
to
didn't ask her to
educate
educate
children.
me. But I didn't
Then
ask
why
her
are
to
you
educate
talking
me.
about education?
What I'm saying is if someone's gonna like come up on a panel like this and be like,
You asked me to educate
Okay.
him.
All right.
And
Listen.
did he ask to be
but
educated
what
himself?
was
I'm just
wrong
gonna bring
was
you down.
trying to get him.
Selfishly, I'm gonna bring you down because like I want to talk on topics, right? This is not a topic I'm generally gonna talk on, so like I just want to be able to speak. So I just brought her down because I want to get to a topic I can speak on. Selfish, but you know.
Did I message you back, Doug? I think.
Yeah,
I
you did. You did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. I was just checking I had responded.
Yeah. No, you're good. I appreciate you. All right, guys. We'll keep tapping and sharing. You guys tap real quickly when you're motivated. See, I just gotta do the little carrot and stick for you guys.
Erica, your countrymen do not like you. And I haven't for the life of me figured out why.
Well, lots of them do. In fact, if you're British in the comments and you like me, just let Buzzy know. But plenty of them do. It's just, I don't know.
Maybe the ones that don't are just really loud. Maybe that's what.
Yeah, I think it's that.
Guys, let's still invite guests though if we can. All right, we're looking for opposition. I'm not doing the AB topic. All right, that's it. No more. I can entertain it like once a month with like 2 people or whatever, and that's about all I can take. It drives me insane.
And it's crazy because Erica, you're never saying anything that's like, you're never saying anything that's like, I'm digging my feet in the sand on.
Well, the thing is, I really didn't talk a whole lot in either of those conversations. So it's weird that they would come for me, but the reason they did is because they hear an accent that's similar to theirs and they think they know who I am, and they probably think they know my politics, and they don't. Like, I've voted for three whole ass different political parties in my life. That you don't have the same options as us, but I voted for 3 different political parties in my life. I'm not a single issue voter. I'm not tied to a party. And I never have been. Well, no, I used to be a Liberal Democrat. But that was way in the past.
You awful person. Awful.
Well, my dad was a Liberal Democrat when he was a politician, so, you know.
I don't think I knew your dad was a politician.
Yeah, he was on the equivalent of city council, Doug.
Gotcha. Okay, that's pretty damn cool.
And he was nearly the mayor of the city that I live in. They asked him, and he said no because the mayor always died the year after their mayor.
That sounds like a
That's a
smart
pretty
decision,
goddamn
to be
good
honest.
response.
Yeah, I too would mind my own business in that circumstance.
Yeah, he was like, no, I'm not ready
thank
yet.
you.
And it's a good job he
Nice.
didn't, because he lasted like another 25 years.
I don't know who sent that little gift, but thank you. I can't. Oliver, thank you.
Whoever asked if my dad could be your president, unfortunately, he passed away in November, so probably not. I mean, maybe he could inhabit, like, who, if there really is a soul, guys, and I don't want to get onto this discussion.
He would be better than Trump.
maybe.
Yeah. Let's replace.
Oh, he'd
please.
definitely be better.
Yeah.
Even unalived, he'd be better than Trump.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but
no, honestly, he'd laugh at that as well.
That's pretty good. Keep tapping and sharing, guys. If you're enjoying the live, hit the follow button in the top left on TikTok. On the tube, click the subscribe button on the top right. Both of you guys, if you can keep liking the live, I would appreciate that. Share it on out to your best friends and foes. And make sure you guys follow Erica
Yeah,
and Buzzy.
Erica,
Show them some support.
While I was muted, I had a second there where I was like, oh, wow, they hate Erica as much as they hate me. Look at us.
They just
That's pretty
don't
good.
like anybody who they just don't like anybody. We seem to have got to this point in human history where we can't have discussions with each other anymore
Yeah,
because
it's upsetting.
like it's so that. And by the way, thank you people in the comments giving your condolences. Honestly, I'm really good considering, so you know. So yeah, I'm all good. I have my moments,
I get
but
that.
generally I'm good.
Yeah, I get that. And they're like random, not to get too off topic, guys, but like it'll be like random, right? Like it'll just, something will pop into your head that will remind you of him, I guess, right? At least
Oh yeah,
that's with my
I
brother.
cried at the vet. I cried at the vet the other day, taking Buzz to the vet. Not Buzzy below me. My dog is called Buzz.
Yeah.
Taking him to the vet, and she was like, "Oh, he's lost some weight," and I said, "Oh yeah, my dad isn't giving him treats anymore," and then just
you
went,
cry. Yeah, I get that.
That Buzz
So-
is a fuzzy little legend, and no slander to his dietary habits. He demands a snack. Also, I'm going to switch over to my iPad, Dougie. I'll be right back.
Cool. All right, sounds good, Buzzy. Keep the tapping and sharing, everyone. But we are looking for MAGA, okay? So if you voted for Trump, you support him, you're Republican, conservative, etc., 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 hit the request button, please. Okay.
Yeah, I want to just real quick. I miss him, but at the same time, he was very, very sick, and we were lucky that I think my mum kept saying, well, if we'd have lost him all of a sudden, it would have been better rather than him being sick. But I don't think that's true, because him being sick meant we got to say everything to each other that we wanted to.
No, 100%.
So
that's
why I think I'm kind of okay with it, you know, because we got to say all that stuff.
An unalived or someone that we love who's been unalived is really awful either way, whether it was they were old and it was a, you know, whatever, or they were young and it was a random thing. I think either way it kind of sucks, you know. So I don't think like any of them necessarily make it better.
No, Shells, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, although it was horrible to watch him go through all that, at least we got to say goodbye. Or I mean, I did. I was with him when he passed. But we all got to say the things that we wanted to say to him, and I think that's that's why I don't feel, you know, like I might have done if we'd have just suddenly
It'd
lost
been a
him.
random thing. Yeah. I mean, it was sort of similar with my brother, except his last weeks, his brain cancer was just so bad that like he just wasn't really himself. So it was kind of hard to say like goodbye because he just wasn't him, you know. But like we as a family, of course, still kind of said it. But yeah, it was just it was difficult. But that was good that you were able to do that with your dad, though. But yeah, I agree that probably helped.
No, it's okay. I think I was saying to my mum, I don't think that she's right, and I think however you lose someone, it's always traumatic. There's no way that it can't be, because the whole process is traumatic. And but I, you know, I count myself lucky that I was able to, you know, say those things and be there. I actually went off sick from work so that I got signed off sick, so that I could be at home with them.
For sure.
You know?
No, I think that's good. All right, once again, guys, we are looking for opposition, which would be a Trump supporter or anything like that. There's a request button at the bottom. What are the YouTubers saying? We can always address them. You guys always got some crazy stuff to say.
Is it I hate Erica. She's terrible. It normally is.
Someone says the socialist paradise, but they spelled it wrong, which is weird. Someone says no one cares with numerous S's. What else? Someone says 28 people watching. Get off and drop it to 0. Well, John, that will happen eventually. When I'm done with the live, it'll be 0. So you can look forward to that. Someone says they want to hear your thoughts on Andrew.
The grapist formerly known as Prince.
Yeah. I see.
I think he's hideous. I've thought he was hideous for decades. And I hope they. I hope. But the thing is, I think it's highly unlikely that he gets locked up for the things that he did to women and girls. Right?
Well, why do you say that?
I think it's because the burden of not the burden of proof. We don't have any statute of limitations on those things, but still the burden of proof is so high that I don't know if there would be enough evidence to convict. What they've actually arrested him for is something to do with standards of I can't remember the exact wording, but it's like abusing public office. Because he was a trade ambassador for the UK government.
Okay.
And he was, misconduct in public office. Thank you. He was what has come up from the files is that he, along with Peter Mandelson, were giving away state secrets. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So to JE. And listen, maybe it's going to be like what was his name? Who was the gangster that they eventually got on tax fraud rather than?
Oh, gosh.
Al Capone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they will get him on something other than the thing that is the really disgusting.
That's so fucked up, though.
Did.
That's so fucked up.
I know, it really is. It really is. But what we have to not what we have to understand, but unfortunately, the world we live in, the burden of proof with regards to Grape and SA is it requires, unfortunately, and this is awful, but it requires a certain type of person to be making the accusation. Because if you happen to be a person who, has been any level of promiscuous or all of that, they don't, and it's disgusting, but they don't treat people the same way. And it's another example of how women are not believed in the society that we live in. And if just because you've done something with somebody last week doesn't mean that you consent to that same thing happening with somebody else at another place and time. It's terrible.
And guys, again, we're looking for opposition. Tap and share, follow, subscribe, all that fun shit. Do you think it's possible that more stuff can come out about Trump, other because I heard the UK, I don't know if it's true that they have some of the files too, or copies of them?
No, it's not true that we have unredacted files.
Okay.
No, they would only have access in terms of the e-files unless, for example, they go into I'm going to assume, since they've raided 2 properties that belong to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and 2 properties I think that belong to Peter Mandelson. They will have taken away all electronic communication devices that they've been able to find.
Yeah.
It's highly likely that they will find corroborating evidence or more evidence on those electronic devices. But but in terms of the e-files specifically, our government will only have what the DOJ has let them have, and they're not gonna let. They might have given them more specifically on those people, but they're not going to give them all the stuff to do with Trump.
Yeah, of course not. But I will say this: I don't think the issue is going to go away. I really think that like I know Trump thinks and hopes it will, that like he can do this or that and people will be distracted. Some people will for a little bit, but it doesn't seem like this issue is going away. It's been going on for, I mean, a long time, but as far as like how we feel about it now, several months, right? Really since the beginning of the administration, and it's only getting worse in terms of people wanting to hear more or wanting to know more.
Stephen, first of all, I'm not grasping at straws. I'm saying the US government will only have given them things that are pertinent to their investigation, because why would they give them other things? I'm in my lane, Stephen. My lane is whatever I choose. So they only will have given them stuff that's pertinent to their investigations, first of all. But, well, actually, knowing the current DOJ, they could have given them all sorts because they don't know their ass from their elbow.
Mm-hmm.
You can't rely on another country's government to bring down your president. It has to come from you.
Yeah.
Stephen, my lane is whatever I choose my lane to be. Deal with it.
But I mean, his support is dwindling a bit, and well, not all of the Trump supporters. There does seem to be some that are not that won't let go of this. But there's always going to be that base that's just going to be with him no matter what. I know we've always thought that like, oh, if he does this, then they won't support him. No, I don't think there's anything that he can do to get rid of that like hardcore MAGA base, right? I don't think that's happening. They'll literally be able to see like a video of him doing awful things to children, and they'll still support him. They'll say it's AI. They'll say, well, they'll justify it or something, or they'll say, well, Biden did this to 10 children, so that's worse. You know what I mean? Like, there's always going to be that hardcore base that's going to protect him no matter what and defend him no matter what.
Yeah, what I find difficult to believe is that not difficult to believe, but what I find interesting about this is that people seem to be surprised that rich, powerful individuals are able to use normies in a way that for some reason they didn't think they could. Like, this has been the case for the whole of human history, that, you know, the rich and powerful got away with things that normal everyday people didn't. And I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that it's right for them to get away with it. Of course it's not. But yeah, I just find that bizarre that people didn't think that this was happening, or, you know, that these things happened.
Yeah, I mean, it should be sort of like, I don't want to say obvious, but I don't think your average person necessarily thinks about that. Like, you see stuff in movies and you think, oh, that's a movie, it's not real life. But like, no, some of those things that you see in movies are absolutely things that happen in real life, if not worse, really. But yeah, I mean, if someone has enough money, they can clearly get away with a lot more than you or I or anybody else. I think that should be pretty obvious.
Stephen, he called the Palm Beach police to congratulate them. Because we all knew he was a bad guy. He didn't call them and report.
That is so wild that they cling on to that as they're like, oh, he's good, he's fine. But like, he called them afterwards to say that he knew the entire time. That makes it worse. Like, Stephen, it's just time to let go. Stephen, I know you've been supporting him for a while. I understand it's your entire personality. You're going to have to find a new personality. Like, you gotta let it go. All right? Because at this point, you're going to have to look back in 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, look back and say, hey, did I make the moral decision and stop supporting somebody who did god awful things to children and adults and whoever, or did I continue on that path? I think when you ask yourself years down the road, you're going to want to have the one that was a bit more moral, that decision. I don't know, just a thought, but okay, you can keep supporting him if you want. Clearly, no one's going to stop
Stephen
you.
wants you to take Stephen. I hate to tell you this. We tried to get Doug's to take a Myers-Briggs test.
Oh God!
once,
Don't even remind me of
and
that, Erica.
He took it, and then at the end of it, it asked him to pay, and he got really upset. So
Well,
we're
no.
not asking
What
him.
happened was that it asked me to put in my email to get the results sent to me, and I misspelled my email, and it wouldn't allow me to do it again unless I took the test over again, which fucking upset me so much. So fuck that shit. I'll do it again in the future. Just not now. I'll do it at some point and put the correct email. God, that really annoyed me so much. I hate that you brought that up because I totally forgot about it.
Sorry, I know which one
I'm joking.
Stephen
You're
is.
good.
He's whichever.
You're good.
Stephen's whichever the worst one is. That's which one Stephen is.
Michelle says, "I think that tells us the results." Yeah, well, probably. Oh gosh.
Sigo, I told you, ISFP Stephen is the worst one.
Stephen is horrendous to touch. I think I remember, like, I know Stephen in the comments, but we spoke before. Like, he's awful, right, in person or quote in person.
The opinionated puppy stopped talking.
I'm like, yeah, Stephen was just awful to talk to in person, from what I remember. I don't know why I keep saying in person, but up on the panel. Yeah, guys, if you think he's bad in the comment section, you should see how he is on a panel, and that's not going to happen here. Anyways, again, we're looking for opposition. I may restart here at some point because it doesn't seem like we're going to get anybody. Those watching on the tube, though, I hope you guys are enjoying it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying it, of course. And make sure you like the live. Please and thank you.
Stephen said his personality type is the most common, and that's why we're...
That would be awful. If
it the most common?
If his personality was the most common personality, I wouldn't want to live here anymore. Personally. Because that would be awful if everybody was like him.
Sorry, the opinionated puppy was talking and I had a PB&J. It was a great time for me.
I am almost at 57,000 followers, Phoebe. That's great. Let's get it there, guys. Let's try to get to 60. Although what's annoying though, when I used to get a lot more followers per live. It's pretty low at this point, but hey, that's okay. It'll happen. Because there were some lives where I would get like 100 to 200 followers, like, and it wouldn't be just a one-off live. It would be a bunch of them. But that's when I would have like 800-900 people in the live or something.
Oh no, I'm a judge. Do you mean a judge? Steve, that was just me showing that I am in fact a judge. How terrible. Oh no.
It's because I already have the best people. I think that might be it, Stormy. I think I think you might be right. 7 since August, so still over 1 a month. Yeah, but I used to get like, there was times again where I was getting like 1,000 per week. So 1,000 per month is fine. My goal, I would like to.
I've got to stop talking.
I would like to get to 100 by the time like the 2028 election comes. It's not really a hard goal, but it would be. I think that'd be cool to get there by then. I think it's possible. Go ahead, Buzzy. Sorry.
No, I was going to say I've got to stop talking to my puppy like a person because quite literally something fell off of my chair in my kitchen and I was afraid that it hit him and I asked him to put his paws where I could see them and he walked around the corner and sat there. And I thought, you know what? Wow, these tactics of talking to that little opinionated man like the little opinionated man he is, really works out. Because I told him, let me see his paws, and he was like, here are my paws. And also on the opposite side of that, I don't know. I'm looking at going into this in next election season. I'm actually questioning whether or not I want to be as active as I was last election
I
season.
get it. It's
Because
a lot. It's a lot.
there was a lot. It's really a lot. And I've really enjoyed the piece I have about being able to come and go as I please.
Sure. Yeah, I'll be honest. This can get a little stressful at times. That's why I sometimes take mental health breaks. I really do enjoy doing this for real. However, it can weigh on me a bit, I would say.
Yeah, and that's kind of it because we had so much conversation going into the last election and the outcomes of what was being said by the Heritage Foundation and all of that work. And it's not that I feel like all of that work was for nothing because a lot of people are learning on the back ends. But then again, people learn from suffering, right? A lot of people had to suffer at the hands of their own decisions or the hands of their own indecisions for the fact that majority of the voting body in the United States of America simply did not show up to the polls because they listened to media that was telling them that they were being forced, that they were being forced to vote for Donald Trump because they felt like Kamala was being pushed in their faces. And that was weird because you could put these two people on paper and do that thing where you write the pros and cons of each person and easily come out with more pros than cons for Kamala. It's just, and so I don't know, the lack of intellectual engagement really grinds my gears.
But what bothers me though, Buzzy, to what you said, there are people now on the left that are saying if, for example, Gavin Newsom is the candidate, I'm not going to vote for him. Or if Pete Buttigieg is the candidate, like they're already fucking saying that.
And that's the thing; it feels like that all over again.
And
yes.
don't get me wrong, Buzzy. I don't really like those candidates personally, or if they were to be a candidate. I think I'd like Pete Buttigieg more than Gavin Newsom. However, they're too corporate Democrat for me.
Same.
They're too corporate. Like, you know what I mean? Like we want like a true leftist, and they are not. But I'll still vote for them.
And that's kind of it. That is exactly it. This perfectionism that lies within people that are left leaning or people that are democratic, this wanting to pedestalize someone as the perfect politician when the perfect politician simply does not exist. Like I've been stating this for years and I stand on it. If you find a politician that you 100% agree with, you need to look yourself in the mirror.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, that's actually a really good statement to say. What's his name? Hassan or whatever the fuck his name is. He said that. He said if Gavin Newsom's the candidate, he's not going to vote for him, and he has a lot of sway, so to speak, in with his views. He's got a lot of followers, and so the fact that he would do that is very concerning to me.
Hassan Piker.
Yeah. But like realistically, who would be a leftist candidate for Democrats? It would be somebody.
Well, there's really no one that's left leaning enough for these people. I'm gonna be honest with you, and people are gonna hate me for saying it. There's nobody that's left leaning enough for these people. People came at me for saying this in Fax's live the other day. Well, I'm talking about viable candidates. Like, there are some people
like
that are very
AOC, but like AOC, for example, I think they would vote for, but I don't think she's viable in the sense that, like, unfortunately, we cannot have a woman candidate right now.
Correct.
And I don't mean that. I don't mean that in a bad way.
Mad at me for saying that.
I don't. Yeah, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in just a fucking realistic way. I'm sorry. We just can't have one.
Yeah,
right
people
now.
got mad at me for saying that. They said it was defeatism. People got mad at me for saying that Mondani was luck and work mixed together. And when they asked me to expand upon what I meant by luck and work mixed together, Mondani was in the right place at the right time in a city full of people that was sick of everyone's shit and definitely wanted something different. And when I say he put in the work, he did the footwork. He did what Stacey Abrams did in Georgia. His team were boots on the ground while campaigning. He did the legwork on top of being in a situation where people were sick of what they were dealing with and they wanted something different. And it has been a positive thing for him. But as I stated in Facts Live, you're not going to find a Mondani in Iowa. You're not going to find a Mondani in West Virginia. You're not going to find a Mondani in Utah. Like,
Yep.
like it's just the reality of things. It's not to negate the fact that Mondani put in work. It's understanding that luck is a work and timing mixed together in some cases,
Oh,
and
I
that is
agree.
what Mondani is an example of.
No, I agree. However, though, I am going to say this: I don't think it's the far leftists not voting that's the issue. It's the moderates. That's the big voting base, and they didn't vote for Kamala, right? They voted for Biden, and that's unfortunately, for better or worse, who needs to be targeted. I understand the far left is some percentage, but it's a much bigger percent. The moderate liberals, the moderate conservatives. That's
Hell, people were mad for. Oh, I'm sorry, Erica. Go ahead.
That's okay. I was going to say, unfortunately, you do kind of have to come to terms with the fact that the United States is a conservative country.
Yeah.
Conservative with a small c. Even you only really have two options, and your further left party is still centrist on the world stage, if that. I would say they're kind of moderate right, actually. But in order to appeal, you have to pick a person who's going to appeal to the most voters, and even if you're super far left, you've got to vote for harm reduction, because if you don't, you're going to end up with Vance or someone equally fucking awful.
Yeah.
No, for sure. People got mad. So people were upset about the situation that happened with Jasmine Crockett and Tallarico. People said that people felt like when Tallarico was asked difficult questions, he pivoted to religion. The reality of the situation is, at his base, before he's a politician, Tallarico is in fact an actual pastor. Like, Tallarico is an actual pastor.
Wasn't he also a teacher, or is?
Yes, he was a teacher, and he was both teacher and pastor. Like, at his fundamental base, he's teacher and pastor. His constituents know that about him. So when he relates something with the Bible based off of why he feels the way he does about something, that's not being inauthentic. That's not pandering. Quite literally, before he was a politician, he was these two things, and that aided him in his politics. He's talking to his base. On the opposite side of that, because you have this propaganda of Democrats or leftists are too extreme and they're too reckless, right? Tallarico speaks to the moderates in that area. And we're talking about Texas. And then if we're putting it even more blatantly, Jasmine Crockett is a black woman.
Yeah.
She's a black woman in Texas, who the same state where Cruz still has a job in politics. Okay?
Yeah. All right. I don't think history never really has a conversation, right, Erica? They're in the request box. Aren't they the ones that just say stupid
history,
shit?
No.
He just says stupid shit, right?
History of Mr. T.
Well, let's try. I think he just says stupid shit.
Hound. He's the one that's a teacher. Yeah.
Oh, wait, did I get the wrong one? Okay, history, how old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay, sorry, I was talking about the wrong one. I apologize. There's somebody else who has a name that has history in it who's just insufferable. But anyways, what's going on?
No, you're fine. First of all, I just want to say that I really love you and Erica. I watch you every day.
Oh, I appreciate
love both of you so much. Love Erica. I was just going to jump on about the leftist comments.
Yeah, please.
About like Hassan and so forth. So
yeah, please.
I did vote for Kamala, and I will vote for whoever the Democratic candidate is.
Yeah.
So if it's Gavin Newsom, I'll vote for him.
Yeah.
If it's AOC, who I would love, I would vote for her.
Agreed.
But I can understand where some people will say that they will not vote for certain people based on, I guess, like what would you call it, like their litmus test, just specifically probably based on the Gaza genocide.
Yeah, I know that's usually like the limiting variable for many of them. Listen, I understand that's a big thing. There's a lot of people that have been unalive, that will be unalive, that are being harmed, and we're talking about a lot of people, right? So it's not just about America, and I get that, I do, but I still think that even a liberal candidate would pose less harm, even in that area of the world. Do they have the views that we would want? No, but I still think they would cause less harm over there. But I get what you're saying.
I think the thing about this is I understand people's personal morality and their opinion on I don't know, geopolitics or things that are going on globally affect some people's votes in elections. But when we talk to Trumpers every single day, and I was on a live the other day. It wasn't Doug's, it was someone else's. And this guy, I really like him. He's very funny, but he's an independent. He wrote in someone in the election. And this guy came up and he started talking about the Middle East. And he was talking about, the rift between Sunnis and Shias in Islam and, all this stuff. And the host said, I don't, Americans don't care about that. Well, it doesn't matter whether Americans care about it or not. It's a thing. And I think and the people that don't care about it the most are the Trumpers that we speak to, right? They don't care about what's happening elsewhere in the world unless it suits their political position to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're talking about is people that will vote for one party no matter what they're doing, versus people who have, independent thought and have a soul and have personal morality that prevents them from voting for some people. But the fact remains, there are some times where you just have to hold your nose and vote for somebody because it's harm reduction to do so. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%. I 100% agree with the harm reduction. 100%. I also think of it along the lines of, if we are supporting a candidate who is okay with genociding people in Gaza, that same candidate will be okay genociding people in Minnesota. That same person will be okay genociding people in California. Do you understand what I'm saying? They'll just make up whatever reason. So while I 100% understand harm reduction, and I will vote for whoever the Democratic candidate is, because whoever the Republican candidate is going to be horrible.
Yeah,
I can understand why people on the left, like leftists, would be very hesitant to do so, because it's like, are we voting for MAGA or are we voting for blue MAGA today?
Sure.
Yeah. I have to say, Raven in the comments said the people doing the damage are the non-voters. I disagree with that. I think it's the moderates. The people. Well, I don't even think that. I think the people that are doing the damage are the people that voted for Donald Trump.
Well,
and
ultimately, yeah.
And as much as we don't like that other people's conscience prevented them from voting for somebody, or they're not actively doing the damage. In fact, their lack of vote, if that was the reason why, was because they don't want to be involved in doing the damage. But the fact is, and this is where realism has to come into it, the fact is that not voting indirectly does damage. Certainly when you have a candidate like Trump, it indirectly does damage.
Oh yeah. I mean,
does,
not voting is still an action, right? Yeah. So yeah, I'd agree.
Yes, and that's why I say that I think the moderates are the problem. A majority
I
of
agree
people
with
in the
that.
United States of America did not come out and vote.
Right.
And the problem is with what we see in voting is that Democrats only show up and vote when it affects them, when they
Hmm.
feel like they have something important to
Right,
vote
like with
for,
Biden.
when this
Right. Yeah,
country
yeah, yeah.
falls to, yes, when this country falls into peril, they show up to vote when they feel like they can be the hero. So
Yeah.
that's why I say that moderates are the problem in America, because they seem to only show up when they feel like they can be a hero.
Yeah.
And they wield the power in that way. But I also agree with what you're saying, because when they don't show up, that is also making a stance. That is also making a choice that is negatively impacting this country. And the other thing that I will say is dangerous in this ideology, because while I understand what history was saying about trying to find ways to justify things, they are two different extremes in that there is policy in place where we actively give money to two parts
Yeah, for sure.
that are opposing each other,
Hmm.
because of how this country likes to have their hand in everything. And that is an issue in itself. And I think that that should be addressed at its helm, separately from the other things that are happening. And that goes back to holding our politicians accountable
Hmm.
for the things that they stand on and the things that they run for. The issue we're having now with so much chaos is our congressional body, the ones that have the power, do not have a backbone. And so rather than, in some cases, voting for whatever it is he's stating when they don't get the numbers, they just sit and do nothing. They'll call a congressional recess. They'll leave things sitting on the floor. They won't acknowledge the problem at all. They are quite literally being lazy as fuck,
Yeah.
in order to give him what he wants.
Yeah, history. You can. I'll let you go afterwards. I just want to state something. I think we all here on TikTok and YouTube as well. We all need to realize, and it's hard to, because I sometimes forget that, like, your average person isn't as far left as we are. Like all of our, like, the, quote unquote friendlies, we're all far left-ish, right, compared to how the general American population is. And like when we step out into the real world, your average person just isn't as far left as we are. Like we're actually a small percentage of of the voting base people who are, considered leftists. Your average person just isn't. Like they make up such a larger base of things, and it sucks that sometimes we have to cater to them. But I think you can simultaneously do both. Like not cater to them, but like still obviously win the elections, but try to convince them to push further left, to go further left. And that's sort of like the battle. How do we go further left while still voting for someone who's not a leftist?
And the other thing I will say, history is, even if people, because top down voting does not work. Like, we have the data that tells us that top down voting does nothing, because essentially the president only has as much power as Congress allows him. And right now, they're allowing him to do whatever, whenever, because of his loyalist, right? So even if you don't vote for who sits at the head of the table, at the head of the executive branch, vote for all of the other offices beneath that seat.
Oh
And
yeah,
that is how you make impact.
For sure.
hundred
Go ahead,
percent, and
history.
I 100% agree with that. Down ballot voting,
Mhm.
local elections, state elections. I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. I think my question is just if, like, to me personally, like, I can understand why, although Kamala was the most qualified person to ever run for president,
Mhm.
I voted for her, love her. I think she did a great job. I can understand why leftists, and I do identify as a leftist, but I still voted for her,
Yeah.
maybe did not vote for her, particularly on her Gaza stance.
Yeah.
So I think my question is just, why can't we get candidates to come out against that? Why can't we get better candidates?
So I think
Because
there are people. So my answer for that is this, because even looking at what's happening in Congress now, we do have congressmen and women that are stepping forward and saying things when they feel it's necessary. The issue with that is we have a majority and a minority within our Congress. And right now, the most vocal people are our minority, meaning that they do not wield the power of the House. But it's not that they aren't speaking. And that's one of my smaller pet peeves is when you hear the people in the congressional body speaking out about things. People will be in the comment section, "Well, why are they telling us? Why aren't they doing anything about it?" Well, I wish more people read the Constitution, because their job as us being the constituents, their job is to let us know what's happening so that we can use our voices to make decisions within our votes, and also to make decisions within our areas, such as showing up to school board meetings and council meetings, all of those things that we have the power to do at state level, the things that we can change, right? And so, yeah, it's an interesting time for sure.
Yeah, sure is. Anything else you wanted to say, History?
That was it. I just really thank you guys for having me up. Love y'all.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, History. Take care. Great having you.
You too.
Right back at you.
Yeah. No, he brought up some interesting points. It's tough though. I don't see anytime soon the Democrats going really further left. But it's weird because that's what a lot of people do want. Like, your average person, if there was somebody who came out who was a true leftist, but was really good at portraying like what we want, like as far as healthcare and housing and just like all of the things that like we would want, I think they would get tons of people to follow them. I mean, look at Bernie Sanders. Well, he's not like a leftist.
Yeah, I was gonna say
people liked him because he was likable, right? Like, unfortunately, you have to have.
Doug,
I don't
it
want
was
to say
his
unfortunately.
mittens.
You have to have the personality. You have to be able to have.
It was
You
his
got to be
mittens. It
likable.
wasn't him, Dougie. It was his mittens. His mittens were
mittens.
likable. His mittens and his crossed legs were the star of the show, Dougie.
Tommy, I don't know what you're talking about the VA changes. You can let me know in the comments or the mess or DMs if it's a longer thing. I'd like to know though. Hey Bart, I just need to know your age before we move forward.
Yo, what's up, broski? 40, he, him.
Okay. What's up?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys if you're pro-choice, and if you are, why?
Dougie,
I think
you know how I feel about this. Do we have to
I think the
rehash this?
Discord. I think the Discord that you're in. I think you got the message a little too late.
I'm not on Discord. Are you going to boot me now? You don't want to argue about it? You don't want to debate about it?
I'm anti talking
I'm going to
about
take that as a
AB
concession if
anymore
you like.
today.
Personally, I
See,
do not talk about this with heterosexual
So why
men.
you muted me already? Why you
So
terrified?
these
Just give me
people
the
do
argument.
this just to make themselves feel. He probably had a bad night and just needed to
Oh
go
my
into
God,
a
he's
live
so
to make
terrified.
himself feel
Terrified.
better.
I'd like to know where on the background does it talk about AB?
It doesn't at all,
We weren't
Bart.
talking about AB. The background doesn't talk about AB. Where did you get the idea, Bart?
Somewhere
that we
between
would like to talk
fragile.
about AB?
I think it was fragile and possibly angry. I think those were the two indicators.
Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
He said he gave himself he gave the concession. He took it as a concession. That's all he wanted. He just wanted somebody to say you're right to him. That's all he wanted to hear. I blocked him, by the way.
I just
I was feeling petty.
Weird. It's weird to come into a The reason that we know that you're on a Discord, Bartholomew, is because we weren't talking about AB. There's nothing on the background
Right.
about AB, but people did come in earlier and talk about AB.
Yeah.
So somebody has forwarded
Somebody
this
told them.
live to
Yeah.
you, or you're in a Discord or something,
Or something.
saying
Yeah.
they're talking about AB.
100. He's
And we're
in Telegram or a text message, group message, somewhere. He didn't come here on his own accord. That I know for sure. But yeah, Tommy, what did anybody know what happened with the VA? Tommy told me there's VA changes. What's the deal with that?
I will go look it up. Give me a moment.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to, you can. But
Oh yeah, he's in a signal chat with Pete Hegseth, and Pete was saying something
it's
about
funny.
bombing Iran, but also that Doug was talking about AB in his live.
Okay. I see something here. New VA rule ties disability ratings to. I got to read through this. Either way, it doesn't look good. God damn it! These stupid pop-up ads annoy the shit out of me. Fuck. This could be bad. I don't like this. So it just changes how they dictate, I guess, what like the disability ratings. I'm only on 10% from the VA, so I don't really get much. So, yeah. So for over a decade, veterans and their attorneys operated under court precedent that largely protected disability ratings from being reduced just because medication made symptoms more manageable. Blah 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 blah. I'm trying to find specifically what's up. So the VA's new rule overrides both decisions. There were two court decisions, I guess. In its Federal Register filing, the agency called the Ingram ruling an erroneous interpretation. All right, get to the point. Come on. Okay, I need to go to a different thing. Let me see. I'm trying to see the comments. What are you guys saying? If meds fix you. Oh, gosh. Okay, that's what I was sort of getting. Yeah. So if medication, I guess, makes your symptoms better, they have a potential to reduce it. Well, I'm never going to say, because mine's for my lower back. Because I got a protruding disc in my lower back, so I have 10% disability for that. I will never acknowledge that my pain gets better. No matter what you throw at me, it's going to get worse. Theoretically, of course. Theoretically. Okay, yeah.
YouTube comments.
Yeah.
What
Oh
are the
gosh.
YouTube comments
Oh
saying,
gosh.
Douglas?
They're probably awful right now. Let's see. No, actually, they didn't say anything bad about that. I would have thought that they would. YouTube commenters, I would have thought that you would have said a whole lot of shitty things, but you didn't so far. There's not too many people in there at the moment. There was more people earlier.
I'm sad that DJ's not in there because DJ's a
Oh, I
constant
know. Yeah,
source of
yeah, he normally is.
amusement.
Chris, you say you have that as well and go to work.
Talking to you.
No, Chris, I'm a personal trainer. Yeah, I train people. I do everything. I can work out and all that stuff, but I still do have a protruding disc in my lower back. I can manage it. 100%. I'm not gonna lie. I am extremely fucking jealous of any veteran who has 100% disability. I'm just gonna admit it. I'm so fucking jealous because they get, if you're single with no dependents, like $3,200 a month, tax free. That pisses me off. That I'm just jealous. I could have gotten such a better. I'm just venting at this moment. I could have gotten such a higher rating if I just documented things more when I was in the military. If I was more diligent about it. You're only 90%. Fuck off, Tommy. Only 90%. Ugh, gosh. Careful what you wish for. I mean, listen. I mean, 10% still gives me like, I think like 200 a month or something. Mathematically, I'll never get to 100. No, I get that. However, though, I will say this: you can get disability for depression and anxiety, and I 100% have that. However, I was working with a lawyer to try to get that disability higher, but it was such a long process, and I kind of just stopped working with the lawyer. And it was completely dependent upon, like, the lawyer only got paid if my disability went up, so I didn't have to like pay her up front. but I could have potentially
If
got a
it
higher rating.
helps, I got 0%, but I'm also 0% a veteran, so I'm not even sure how that works here, you know. I don't even know if there's like a similar thing, because I mean there must be for people that you know have people that you know lost limbs and stuff like that, or can't work anymore because of their service. But because we have the National Health Service and all of their medication and all of that stuff is covered through taxation,
Mhm.
I'm not sure if there's, because that's, you know, a lot of what it covers, right, is your medical care.
What covers? I missed the first part
No,
of what you said. I'm
I'm
sorry.
not repeating it, Doug. If you can't be bothered to listen to me, I'm not.
I'm sorry, I was
I'm
distracted
saying
by something. I'm sorry.
because
Just sum it up. Sum it up.
because we have the NHS, and because everybody gets medical care and
Yeah.
nobody has to get insurance,
Mm.
the need for kind of the different levels of disability and the payouts for that is not the same.
I see. Okay. I gotcha. Yes, guys, it is the ADHD, but like, God damn it, it's so fucking difficult at times. Somebody will talk, and my mind will just drift off somewhere else. I have to try so fucking hard to concentrate. It's really difficult.
My ADHD does the opposite. It means that I hyper focus on what people are saying.
Yeah, well, that's good, I think.
Which I'm a very active listener, you know.
You are actually, yeah. No, it's actually a really, really good trait to have. Yeah, it makes it difficult. Like, then that's why it made school and all those things so difficult. Like, I would get like the first 10% of what they said, miss the entire 80%, and get the last 10%. And then I would just say like, okay, and yeah.
Never send me an email, because I will, unless you put everything you want me to know in the first 2 sentences, or the first 2 sentences pique my interest that I want to read the rest of it, I won't read it.
Yeah.
I won't. That's happened so many times. Oh shit, I've just remembered something that I've got to do for next week. I must remember to do that for next week.
I'll remind
Doug,
you. Do that for next week.
It's
whatever
careers. It's careers week at school next week, so I have to write 3 lessons on careers.
Oh, I gotta. Yeah, I'll try my best to remind you. Matt, thank you so much for the 5 on the Blue Out with a V. W. Matt in the comments, it says, thank you for having me. Oh, gosh, shit. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to read your first name. I don't think. All right, well, whatever. Thank you for having me up. I really appreciate it. Love you. Love Erica. W. Matt. Thank you, Matt, so much. All right. All right. I left out history, but guys, if you ever do send anything to any of the pay links, and you do not want me to read your even first name, make that known in the very first part of the comment, okay? Please.
Put it in the first line of your email,
yes.
Otherwise Doug won't read the rest of it.
Because if you put it at the end, then unfortunately I will read the name first. I don't ever read the last name though, so even if your first and last name's there, I never say the last name. I just say the first, if anything. But
I'm still. Was it on your live that Gen X leftist sent me the PP and I accidentally read it as Gentle
Oh
Fist?
my god, yeah, I totally forgot about that.
We've called him Gentle Fist every time. I've called him Gentle Fist every time I've seen him.
That's
from
so
that
funny.
point till now.
That's so funny. Chris in YouTube, why do you seem so obsessed? You seem very, very obsessed, buddy. I thank you guys for serving, but I think you veterans are taking advantage of the system. I think any 10% disability is not me taking advantage of the system. If you're up physically disabled or mentally disabled, go to work. Okay, Chris. What else does Chris have to say? I get rich off the stream. I don't know. I guess that's supposed to be a dig at me.
Yeah, Doug, you're so rich.
I'm sorry, guys, that this upsets you. I don't like. do it yourself if you want to do it so badly. Like I don't know what to tell you. And
I'm gonna hazard a guess.
I'm sorry that it's not quote unquote a job, but that doesn't affect you.
I'm gonna hazard a guess that on my pitiful teacher's salary, I don't know. I don't know whether I earn more than Doug or not, but I'm gonna guess we're not far off each other.
Yeah.
And you know, guys, and just to let everyone know, if you have the capability of streaming yourself and people coming to watch and liking you enough that they want to tip you or whatever, or donate to you, then there's nothing stopping you from doing it. I feel very much like the people that don't like that are the ones that know that nobody would go watch them if they were to,
Yeah.
Do a live stream.
Yeah. I didn't go in with the intentions of doing this in this manner. So I've told you guys numerous times, I literally just started doing live streams because they seemed interesting, and I did them completely randomly at first. I would go like weeks without doing it. And at some point, a small group of people enjoyed it, and so I continued a little bit more, and then I just started doing it every day, and it grew. It was not at all my intention, so.
I
Tam-
talk to people
Tommy,
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry, Tommy. Thank you so much for the Soros stipend. Thank you, I appreciate you too, Tommy.
In real life, if you ever got to meet me, I'd talk to you for free. Fun fact. Actually, it depends in what capacity you got to speak to me. Because if you were a parent of someone I teach, I get paid for that. And if you are a member of a stand-up comedy audience, I also get paid for that. So it depends on the situation in which you met me, actually.
Oh, Trump Bunny 24 in the tube comment has a question for you, Erica.
Oh yeah,
and
please
people
go ahead.
people on YouTube, you're lucky right now. We don't have super chats yet, but so I'll read your comments for free at this point. I've always had this question for liberal teachers. If you're spelled wrong, by the way, which is very ironic. If you're struggling financially as a teacher, what makes you think you know better than a kid's parents about what's best for their child?
I don't necessarily know better what's better for your child. First of all, I definitely know better than some parents what's good for their child. Since there are kids that I teach who come into school without breakfast or in dirty clothes or in clothes that are in a bad state of repair or who come in freezing temperatures and don't have a coat. I would argue that I probably know better than those teachers, but also I've been a teacher for what year is it now? 2026. I've been a teacher for like 17 years now. So I have spoken to more children and more parents than you will ever come into contact with in your life. And I've spoken to children and parents who are in every single situation that you can possibly imagine. And so I think parents have to understand that sometimes I will have words of wisdom on things that they have never experienced before, but I have. So I don't think I know better than every parent, and I would never say that I do. But also your kids will sometimes tell me things that they won't tell you. So, teachers have a different understanding of your child than you have. That doesn't mean it make it better or worse. It just makes it different.
Somebody commented this, and I agree. She said, "Well, that reeks of that reeks of transphobia," and I think there probably was a little bit in there. I bet you that was like the insinuation. They love to seem to talk about trans people in relation to teachers in school. That's
Yeah,
like their
I
favorite.
mean,
I bet you that's what was in their minds.
well, again, I don't think I know better than a lot of parents. What I will tell you though is this: there are a whole ton of parents who, although they say, "Well, that's my job to teach my child that," and then you don't teach your child that. You know, I teach a whole ton of things. Well, a whole ton of things. I do teach a whole ton of things, including like sex and relationships education.
Ooh,
And
how
what I
dare
can
you?
tell you is I know. What I can tell you is the parents who say that's my job to teach my child that, 9 times out of 10, they don't know the basics themselves. Like the guy that was on earlier and thought that fertilization occurs in the ovary. You know, you can't teach your child when you don't know things. And if, well, you can, but you'll teach them wrong.
Oh, yeah. Yup. They also
That's
did
correct,
say.
Raven, a metric ton.
They also did say, as a teacher, once you stop teaching and start pushing your political views onto kids, you are no longer a teacher. You're a politician. It's an
I
odd thing to
don't push
say.
my
But
I
once you're not a
listen,
teacher, of course you're not a teacher anymore. Like, no duh.
I will I'll tell you this. So one of the things that I said, I'm sure I said this on your live the other day, one of the things I teach is religion. And when the kids that I teach ask me if I am religious or what my religion is, that tells me I've done a great job at teaching them. Because if they can't tell, it means that I'm being fair to
Yeah, that's a good point.
all of the and when I teach politics, because I also teach politics, when I teach politics, everything, when you're a teacher, the things that you teach should ostensibly be from a third party perspective, i.e., you're not buying into any of them, you're presenting the facts about those things, right? And so the kids should not be able to tell my opinion. They shouldn't be able to tell my opinion. Now I play devil's advocate a lot, so I will often present opinions that are definitely not mine, because my job is to help them to be critical thinkers. So I will often take, points of view that are not mine, as well as points of view that are mine, but the kids should never know which are and aren't. And that's what makes you a good teacher, is that you can teach them things from a third party perspective without being emotionally
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah. Listen, Chris and YouTube and who's the other one? The Trump bunny. Listen, you guys just seem like not the best people. You seem to just dislike her for no
Yeah.
reason. So
I'm
the
gonna
comments are
tell
just
you this,
weird.
Doug. This might change their minds. So I teach a group of girls who watch Dean Withers on TikTok, right? And they have no idea that I'm on political TikTok.
Sure.
Because I'm very careful about, having a private account and not going on lives I think the kids that I teach would watch and all of that stuff. So they've never seen me on here. They don't know that I do this. They know I know who Dean Withers is. But when one of the girls presented me with a very basic understanding of a Dean Withers argument, I corrected her. So she said that Trump had banned abortion in America, right? And that's what she'd got. And Dean would never say that because it's not. But that was her 13-year-old understanding of what he'd said. And my response to that was, well, actually, that's not true.
Sure.
What happened was Trump nominated people to the Supreme Court, and then they overturned a court ruling. The following day, that girl and her group of friends said, "Miss, do you support Donald Trump? Because the way you were talking yesterday made it sound like you supported Donald Trump." I said, "It doesn't matter who I support. The statement the thing that you said was factually incorrect.
Yeah.
Donald Trump did not ban abortion.
Sure.
The rule that made abortion legal throughout the country was overturned by the Supreme Court. Now, he may
Yeah.
have facilitated that,
Right.
but that doesn't mean that he banned
Directly
abortion.
into that. Yeah.
But that made them think that I was a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, if my kids that I teach think I'm a Trump supporter because I corrected them on facts, then they're as ignorant as you are, thinking that I push my political opinion on children. I do not.
But what they mean by that is that, like, I don't know, if you have happen to have a student who's trans or gay or whatever, that, like, if you are, like, okay with who they are, that's you pushing your political views. Or someone says something hateful about someone gay and you correct them, like, that's you pushing your political views. No, you're just pushing them to be a good person. You know what I mean? And if you associate that with politics, then I think you have bigger issues.
And my job as a teacher is to make any teacher's first job. And you get taught this when your first job in a school is to make sure the kids that you're teaching are safe. And if one of the other kids is making their life hellish by calling them names or bullying them, then my job, no matter what that bullying's about, whether I agree or disagree, I might agree that you should be able to, I mean, I don't, but I might agree that you should be able to bully kids about something. But that would mean that I was not upholding the trust that's been put into me to keep those kids safe, and I'm gonna keep them safe. That's my first job.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone called me the devil. They said this dude is the devil. That's great. I've never been called the devil before.
Well,
that's wonderful.
I would have thought the devil had better places to hang out, to be honest. Like, the devil would definitely be at a club at this time of night. What are you talking about?
I'm not sure that the devil would be hanging out here talking about all this stuff, but maybe. I really enjoy the YouTube comments. I'm really happy I started streaming there. This was all 100% worth it. I love your guys' comments.
I find the YouTube comments are a comedy in the extreme.
Yeah. I literally can do an entire live stream just responding to the YouTube comments. Like I like that's how wild they are. Like I can just respond to them and have and just converse with them really through the comments, and that would be an entire live stream, and it would be wonderful.
Raven, I agree with you. Virgos are the devil. My mum and my brother and Doug. In fact, Doug and Steve and RJ, their birthdays are all within 2 days of each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, Virgos, I agree. Although I am Virgo rising, so I want to be the devil.
Dean and I share a birthday. I only know that accidentally because I remember a couple years ago it was my birthday. I was swiping through a live, and this was when he was less well known, but still pretty known on TikTok. It was my birthday, of course, and I swiped, and I guess it was his birthday live. So that's how I know we share the same birthday.
What date is your birthday?
September 1st. September 1st, the day that World War II started.
So you, Steve, and Dean all share a birthday?
Yeah. Sounds about right.
And RJ is the day before, on the 30th of August.
Yep. That's weird, huh?
Yeah, that is weird. Although you being a Virgo absolutely makes sense as to why you get so flustered with technology.
Don't even get me started, Eric. Oh my gosh.
I'm a Scorpio. that which makes sense as to why the YouTube comments hate me so much, because Scorpio is the most hated star sign apparently.
They're literally having conversations with themselves on YouTube. Like, it's weird. They are like talking amongst themselves to themselves.
I keep scrolling onto a live on here that says Aries and Scorpios are the worst star signs, and you just have issues with relationships, and you're just like, you can't be trusted. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to? Am I supposed to pretend that my birthday is on a different date? How am I supposed to resolve this issue? I'm a Scorpio sun, Aries moon, Virgo rising. Like, I'm the worst human.
There's a guy on YouTube literally talking to himself about abortion. No one's responding to him. He's having a conversation to himself. What's his name? Threshold Moment. He's talking about Roe v. Wade and term limits and all amongst himself. This is really weird. He says Roe v. Wade was legislation from the bench, and it was patently unconstitutional. She stopped short of that. Susan Collins, I think he's referring to. Gosh, what else? Abortion should be abolished. Abortion for any reason is wrong. We weren't talking about abortion. I don't know why you're talking about that to yourself, man. That's really weird. What happened is that Roe versus Wade is legislation from the bench, therefore it is unconstitutional, and so the nominees that Trump chose made a decision based on the constitutionality of Roe v. Wade. Okay. Rewind the tape. Yeah, we were talking about it way earlier. This guy's if you're defending a dude who's literally talking to himself in the comments, I think that's weird. He's having a conversation with himself.
Well, I think what he's bringing up is the fact. I think he was talking about me, and I think that I was just bringing it up as an example of how I had corrected some misinformation that people had got in their heads that Trump had overturned. Well, no, had banned abortion, and that's not what happened.
Right.
So I wasn't giving any kind of value judgment on whether the overturning of Roe v. Wade was correct or incorrect. I mean, I have one, but I was just letting you know that I have been accused of being a Trumper for addressing, a base level understanding of something.
But hey, YouTube comments, if you want something to get annoyed at, you can hear my opinion on abortion. You're not going to like it, but it's going to get you all chatting. I think women should be able to have an abortion at any time, whether it's day one or whether it's the day before she gives birth. Anytime, any reason. Stir with that one for a bit.
Like a martini, anytime, any place, anywhere. You're not old enough to remember, well, and I don't know whether they played that. I don't know whether they had that ad in the United States, but that used to be the martini ad here. Anytime, any place, anywhere.
What am I eating? I was eating yogurt. Protein yogurt, specifically. It's good stuff.
We have oikos, but it's in a completely different package to that.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like...
Hold on one second. Someone says, for any reason, referring to what I said about ABs, they said, like having a gay fetus. But you guys aren't hateful at all, right? You're not hateful, you're not shitty at all, but if you detect that your future son is going to be gay, you're going to, in your worldview, kill them. Nice.
Well, I need to understand how you would know that. What test tells you that?
I don't think they really thought that much into it, Erica. I think they just thought gay is bad. I don't want gay. Go away. I think that's
Gay bad equals AB. Got
yeah.
you.
I think that's all it was. Yeah. And I bet you, if there was a way theoretically to detect if that fetus in the future, as a person, will be trans or gay, I bet you they would be for, in their worldview, killing them, right? Because they believe it is murder. I bet you they wouldn't be, at the very least, against it, but many would be for it.
But that's why I don't understand. You know when they say, well, I think there should be an exception for grape or SA.
Uh-huh.
If you really were pro-life, you wouldn't have you might have an exception for the life of the mother, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't have an exception for grape or SA if you were pro-life.
Exactly.
Because that fetus hasn't done anything extra to mean that it can be unalived. So if you have that exception, you aren't really pro-life.
Oh yeah, no.
Raven, your jokes are not wasted here. I'm reading them.
No, but like that's I at least in some sense appreciate it when someone who is pro-life says that they've no exceptions. Like, at least you're being logically consistent. At the very least, I completely disagree with your views, but when they give exceptions, you're right. It's just not a logically consistent argument.
Logical consistency is overrated, quite frankly, apparently.
Isn't it late over there, Erica? Erica, isn't it like 3 in the morning?
What? Yeah, it's like 3 a.m. I'm at the dentist at 10. I might as well stay awake now. That guy earlier, you know when he said it's to do with my hedonic, I can't remember what he said.
Oh yeah, but essentially his feelings. Yeah.
Yeah. He said he was basically saying it prevents me from feeling like pleasure in my life that other people have ABs.
Mhm.
Like what? Yeah, it prevents me from feeling pleasure in my life that you're a thing, sir. Like what? Anyone can make that argument about anything.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's like a blue light, like on some computers or like on the phone, how you can like sort of dim it like at night so it doesn't have the blue light thing. You know what I'm talking about? The iPhone has that option. So like my iPhone at night is not quite as shiny. I don't know how to explain it. People in the comments, you'll know what I'm talking about, I hope. So I don't sound stupid. It's the blue light thing. You guys know what I'm talking about? Please. Someone say yes. Anyways, I'm trying to see if that option... Blue light filter.
Blue
There we
light
go.
filter.
Yeah. So I have that on my phone where automatically at, whatever, 7, 8, 9 p.m., it like gets, I don't want to say orange, but like it's just easier on the eyes. I don't want to get glasses for it, but I want to see if there's an option on my laptop. I would assume if I just typed in blue light, it would come up. Here, screen time.
I have the blue light filter on my phone at all times.
All times? Yeah, I just have it at night. I mean, I
Yeah.
probably should do that at all times, though. There's no reason not to. Gosh, where is the option? I have a Mac. I don't know where... Apple Intelligence... Appearance, maybe? I don't know. I'll find it eventually. You put a napkin over your mind. Light? Should I type that? Display. Here we go.
I just went and checked, and it isn't currently on, which may speak to why I'm not asleep right now.
Brightness. No, I don't want it that bright. I don't think the Mac has the option. It's weird because my phone does. Nah, whatever. It's all good. I don't really care that much. It's in the bright. All right. Well, I think I should probably wrap this up anyways. I got to be up at 6:30-ish. So it's probably good that I go to bed.
It's like lunchtime, Doug. I don't know what you're talking about. It's fine.
All right, night mode. You guys said
I'll
to
be
type in night mode. Where the fuck is
I'll
it?
be at the dentist before you get up, so
Is it just a regular checkup?
yeah, but I can feel I've got a chip off one of my back teeth, so I'm gonna have to have something done, but it probably won't be tomorrow.
Ooh. I've never, knock on wood, never had any teeth issues or mouth issues or anything like that at all. Never had a
I
cavity or anything, but knock on wood.
I have had a whole ton. I have very small teeth because I'm a small person. So my dentist's always like, yeah, as soon as something happens to one of your teeth, it's just game over, quite frankly.
Game over.
Because I don't have enough like remaining tooth to kind of, because they're little.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up though. All right, because we don't have any guests anyways. But I
Are
need
we
to be getting to
raiding
bed.
someone?
Let's do that. That's a good idea. I haven't done that in a little bit, and I know I should do it more. Let's see who we shall raid. Who is live at the moment? Is Matt live?
Matt might be on.
Well, we're gonna raid Matt.
Yeah, he's just been skiing for a few days, so he's back now. Apparently, he is on.
Yeah, guys. So if I would assume most of you, if not all of you guys, know Matt. It's Politics of Matt. That's how you find him if you don't know who he is. He is currently live. Terrific lives. Great guy. Just follow him. Watch his live.
He's also live on the tube. So those of you who are on YouTube, you can also go and watch Matt. You can go annoy him.
Yes. Yeah, so YouTubers, you can follow him as well, or subscribe, whatever. Make sure you guys all subscribe to me on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. And TikTok, hit the follow button. Erica does not... I mean, you guys can follow Erica. What's your handle, Erica?
Same as here. I'm this_Erica, ERIKA.
Okay, so if you guys want to follow Erica, it's this_Erica. Okay. Make sure you guys all join my Discord. The link is in my bio of TikTok. TikTok name is the same as YouTube. Follow or click the Discord link. If the link does not work, iPhoneers, I believe it doesn't. So you're going to have to DM me and I'll give you a proper link. Everybody else it should work for. I appreciate all the gifts. Appreciate all the Venmo, Cash App, PayPals. You guys all mean a lot. I appreciate it. Anything else, Erica?
No. Have a lovely sleep.
All right. You too as well, Erica. Great having you. All right. Bye, Erica. All right, guys. Take care. Have a good night. I will see you guys at some point tomorrow, I'm sure. Follow Matt and raid Matt and do all the fun things with Matt. Goodbye. All right.